and variety of maneuvers as well. If you can link a few turns, you know, with a nice little floater. I mean, if you can do an air.
You can do an air. Hannah Scott did win the
Was it
competition
last
last
year?
year with the backside air.
Yeah.
I do believe that was like the first air to really be counted as in a final that was happening
At
at
least
Queen
out here,
Peak.
yeah, Hannah definitely kind of changing the game with that backside air.
Stepping it up.
Yeah, last year when I was up here commentating, I could see daylight underneath her board. It was pretty, being 20 feet up and still being able to see some daylight underneath her board. That was a pretty sick air. And I believe she'll be surfing late in the contest. I think she's the defending champion right now. So
she sure is. I do believe she gets a bye to the second round.
yeah, so that's how
true.
it's working right now with these round one are kind of qualifiers for the first little bit, the round of 48, and then how people how the girls performed last year. They get an automatic berth in the round of 32. So the top two winners advance. So that's how these heats are unfolding here. For if you guys are just watching here and have no idea how a contest is laid out, heats are 20 minutes. Top two people go ahead. It's as easy as that.
Simple. But not so simple as a competitor to be in that top two. You know, it looks like these ladies out here are being a little bit choosy on the way that they're going for. And those big sets that we were seeing in that heat before just don't seem to be coming through at this very moment. How much time do we have left in this heat here?
I think she's still pretty young.
Pretty young.
Yeah, we got surfer in red. That's Jessica Baldwin.
She is busy. Look at that nice floater.
Nice little float there.
There you go. She finished it off. That should be a good little point. I'm sure that might not be her top score, but I bet you that'll be in.
I really like that wave choice that she just had there. You know, got a pretty big set approaching there. You know, all of them kind of look like they're closing out, but that first wave of the set, she was able to find an open face there, and you know, sometimes that's all you need is just to link one maneuver, and if you can hit that maneuver as well as you can and commit as much as you can to that one maneuver, you're going to get a big score.
You're going to get a big score. That's what these judges over here are looking at. I'm just looking over at them intently, watching that water, looking to see how these ladies are doing out there. Pete DeVries is back. He's got out of the water, finished his session, and is doing it up down there. So
yeah, it's pretty rad to see looking at this judging panel here. You know, get some pretty heavy
world class
heavy hitters there. You have on the far right there, have Dan. He's all the way from Victoria there. I believe he's got his level 3 ISA judging certificate.
Wow.
So he definitely knows his stuff about how to judge a contest. And right beside him there we have Isaac Radish. I mean,
the Radish.
No stranger to Isaac Radish. He has his own board made after him at Aftanis there. We have CC Unger as well. Long-time local boy, CC Unger. He's done pretty well at other contests out here. The Rip Curl Pro. Yeah, I think he even competed in the Coldwater Classic. I think back in the day, maybe.
He sure did. Maybe it was last year or the year before. We had a session out at Mackenzie where I just saw him get so slotted. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I couldn't believe the barrel that he somehow found. And I went 4-1. Just didn't end up being the same result for me, that's for sure. But
can only hope, And it's fun to be in the water when all the local pros are in there, and you're like kind of watching in amazement. You're like,
yeah, that is.
What am I doing wrong?
That is the really cool thing about surfing is, like I would never get to skate beside Wayne Gretzky and play a game, but I do get to surf beside Pete DeVries, and hey, if I really decided I want to, I could drop in on him. I definitely wouldn't do that because he could take my head off with those fins of his as he's flying down the line, but you do get to get right beside them, and that can help push you and make you a little bit better of a surfer, a little bit more hungry as you watch them because they just make it look so easy, and it really isn't. It really isn't out there. So here we go. We got some waves coming through. Ladies are being a little choosy. What are they going to take?
Yeah, so on your screen here, you have surfer in red and surfer in white. So surfer in red there, that's Jessica Baldwin. She's we're still waiting for some scores to drop here. We see her looking at this beautiful looking left
she
here.
doesn't want to quit.
See if she can link something together here. Nice
up
the top there. Unfortunately, just got a little stuck at the top there and had the nice little elevator drop to the flat. But I like how she's staying busy. The worst thing you can do out there, I believe, in a contest is just stay there and not stay busy. you know, the cobwebs set in and the jitters start to get in as the time starts to wind down, and you know, then it kind of messes with your thought process of, you know, trying to compete in a contest. But staying busy, you know, like, you know, watching WSL contests, the difference between, you know, people moving on and not moving on is, you know, staying busy. I know when Kelly Slater's out there, he's always, his wave counts, you know, 9, 10 waves, you know, to everyone else is like, you know, 3 or 4, you know, by the time they catch, you know, they're 3 or 4, he's already at 8 or 9. You know, that's the thing, is the busier you are, the more comfortable you'll be, because you get rid of all those pre-contest jitters kind of.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all that stuff where you just start to get into your rhythm, get into your flow, and sooner or later you play the numbers game. You're gonna pick the right wave, and it's gonna come to you.
And yeah, that's the beauty, as we were talking about earlier, is beach break. It's unpredictable. You can look at a wave that doesn't look very good, and you catch it, then something magical will open up down the line, or I mean vice versa, it may close out. But that's the thing, is like staying busy is definitely key, especially with only 20 minutes.
Sure, and there's a bit of a mind game out there. You know, right now those ladies are pretty spread. I don't think they're talking to each other, but if you're sitting down and not really paddling for these waves, and you start seeing all your competitors doing the exact opposite, catching waves, that's going to get in your head, and you're going to lose a bit of confidence there. So, you know, keeping Jessica doing a good job of keeping herself busy.
Yeah, so let's read off these names. So surfer in red there on your screen, that's Jessica Baldwin. And surfer in white, we have Holly McPhail. In yellow, we have Robin Van Gwyn. And in blue, we have Kiki Lalanet. It's a beautiful name.
That is a beautiful name, Kiki Lalanet. I wonder where she's from.
Yeah, let's see if we can pull up some information about these surfers in the water here, if we can read them off to you. So
if you guys want to break and eat lunch, go ahead and just ask.
So we got some info about, we'll start with surfer in red, Jess Baldwin, 29 years of age. She is a retired Surf Sister employee. Kind of interesting, didn't know she worked at Surf Sister.
Yeah, well, she's been in town for quite a while. And
also we got surfer in blue, Kiki Lancelot.
Kiki Lancelot, 28. She's been surfing for about 4 years, and she splits her time between Quebec and Yuki. So, hitting up Wickaninnish Beach.
No, Kiki.
You know,
her last name was Lancelot, though.
Wickaninnish, and you also have that beautiful beach, Florencia Bay. Might be the most beautiful bay that we have on our coast here.
Underrated beach, I think, out here.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a bit of a mission, you know, to get down there, and conditions are always up in the air, but
yeah, Kiki, she doesn't have a favorite board. She really likes to ride anything of the day. It really calls for her, and no kids, and never worked for Surf Sister, but she did sign her waiver. So good on you there, Kiki.
And then who else we got here? There's Robin Van Gwyn. Let's see if we can pull up some info about Robin here.
Clark.
There we go, Robin Van Gwyn, 33 years old. She's been surfing for 7 years. Kind of passed her time between Victoria and Whistler. Her favorite board's a snowboard, actually.
Huh.
I think Robin is I believe she's a professional snowboarder, I believe. And I think she'll be premiering in that video, the full moon premiere that'll be happening in a couple days here at Shelter Restaurant. I think that's on Saturday. She's goofy-footed, and she's the mother of a dog. And she did not work with her sisters, and thanks for getting your waiver signed. I don't think we have to say that, getting your waiver signed, but we'll say it anyways, because safety first, right?
Yeah, that's right. We got to stay safe out here, and we want the competitors to be safe. Here's Jessica up again. She just will not stop. She wants anything and everything, hoping that this is going to do something for her on the inside, and it just doesn't seem to really line up.
Looking very busy. I love how Jess is approaching this heat here. You know, like she's definitely staying busier of the two, and I think the other competitors are kind of feeling that pressure there. They're seeing Jess pick off these beautiful looking lefts, and I mean, if I was out in the water there, I'd probably want to shadow Jess, because she's definitely getting the better wave choice here. We have surfers out the back there. A bit of a surfer in yellow. That's Robin. going right there. Got a little caught in that whitewash, but still plenty of waves to have out there. We have Surfer in white having a look at this right here. Just a little deep on that one there. Fortunately, that probably won't factor into a score line, but yeah, if I was out there, I'd probably take some notes from Jess and probably shadow her because she's been definitely picking off the waves of the heat here, and we'll wait for some kind of unofficial scores to drop. But I think on her first couple of waves there, she's got a pretty good score line.
Yeah, the last girl that we have out there that we haven't talked about is Holly, and Holly splits her time also between Ottawa and Yuki. She's been surfing around for 9 years, and she is 36 years of age. So, 27, got into the game, and going up against a couple people in here that have, get to live and breathe and eat surfing while living in Tofino. And looks like we have a lot of Yuki contingent. It's great to see. We are all friends here. There is no...
We're friends.
We are all friends.
I live in Ucluelet.
Yeah, and I live in Tofino. So
beautiful towns.
Absolutely.
We've got Surfer in yellow. That's Robin Van Gwyn looking at a beautiful left here.
Oh, there we go.
Staying busy. Get tons of speed. And
all right, so let's see what we got going on. We have some lines coming in. The weather has, stayed pretty constant. It looks like the wind is light. I don't even think it's really onshore, offshore, cross-shore, or anything like that. I think it's just perfect for us, making very little difference. No extra chop on the waves. Smooth, almost glassy, as you can say, out there. And how much time do we have left? 1 minute left for this heat, so they're all thinking, I need to get in there. I'm looking for that wave, and there goes Jess, just going for it, going for broke, went for that top snap on the closeout section. And for those at home that maybe don't know what a closeout is, we have lots of different terminology in surfing, and a closeout is when a whole big section of the wave breaks as once, doesn't give any room for a surfer to play on, to really get down the line and enjoy that green face. So that is what everyone is looking for when they're out there, is looking for that high point, paddle in there, pop up, and then move down the line across the wave and stay close to that pocket, that energy zone. And then, of course, as they come to the end of that wave, it might close out and do a nice little turn up on that closeout section. So really not ideal when it closes out on you. You are looking for that green face, but you do what you can. You paddled into it. You want to get it in there, and here comes the close to that heat. Once the official scores drop, we will let you know who took it. My thoughts are Jess got the lead on that. She was just too busy not to get through. We'll really find out who's going to go along with her. And here comes the second heat of round 1. Shortboard, female shortboarding. It's all females here today.
Stand by for results of heat 1. We're going to go straight into shortboard heat 2 here.
Look at this, up and riding, coming on in, yellow.
Yeah, they had identical score. No, you don't. You go to the top scoring first wave.
All right, so kicking it here on Cox Bay, right up on by the judges, getting a look over the judges, just outside of Pacific Sands, where the great Surfside Grill is at, where we can get the great food. I think Dino just went to go get some wild side. He's pretty hungry. He's been talking a little bit. It's a big night last night for all of us who were at the Shelter Starter Kicker dinner off. And I don't know if you guys can see it on your screen there, but there's a dog about to take Jess out. She's too excited. She's coming in with a smile on her face. She must feel good after that great heat she just had. Probably one of the best I think she's ever had. And hopefully she can take that through to the next round, where she will meet some higher competition. I think her dog's name is Sky. Very, very close to their dog. I always see her out there walking. All right, just give us a second here, and we'll tell you who and what and why is out there and what we got going on.
For second place Surfer in blue, unfortunately, you will not advance. You're in third place.
So a bit of a heartbreaker out there for that last heat. There was a tie for second, and Surfer in blue does not advance. But we will get the official scores for you so you know who did get to walk away. All right, and that is confirmed. Jessica Ballin just took the first place of that heat. And I'm sure she's very, very happy. Ryder in the white comes up in their fourth place there. So, you know, it's hard out there. You know, the girls are paddling hard. The waves aren't always going to be in your favor, but you just have to make something when you don't get something. So, you know.
Red was 11.27. White was a 1.4.
All right, so if you are thinking about watching the live feed and you're like thinking maybe I would like to get on down to this beach, we are at Cox Bay, and I'll just tell you a little bit of the amenities today. We have daycare, complimentary babysitting service available during like your heat if you're thinking you're gonna get down here, and maybe if you're really nice and you have a kid that needs to get looked after, that can help you out there. We will have an ancient cedar spa by the Wickaninnish massage tent down for all those ladies that are out there working hard, get their self-massage loosened up to help them get in the name of the game. And then Banger Tubs. Banger Tubs. This is a transportable hot tub to get steamy and warm in. It's not that cold down here. You know, we are in Canada, but it's not that cold. But, man, would it be nice to jump into a hot tub right now. Also going to have the Pacific Rim chiropractor tent. Hey, we got Big Mike with us today. Welcome.
How you doing, buddy? You're just killing it up here.
Well, you know, it's going really well. I'm having a good time.
Great.
This is a great way to really showcase this a beautiful event. And
Yeah, women's surfing.
yeah, I feel like when I go out in the water, there's more women than there are men a lot of times, and that doesn't really get to happen anywhere else in the world, I hear.
Yeah, no, it's in my humble opinion. Well, we'll come back to that one. Oh, Red was having a look, but per capita, I would say there's way more women here that surf than anywhere else I've traveled to. Anyways, like you said, when you go out in the water, a lot of the times there's more women surfing than there is men, and it's definitely very unique. And I'm not really sure why that is. Why Canadian women would surf more? I think I don't know. I think Canadian women are just a bit tougher. They, you know, a little bit of cold doesn't scare them, and you know, they sort of grew up on the mountains, and surfing was a natural fit. And it's unique, and I think it helps the whole vibe in the lineup having so many female surfers. It's great to see, you know, the camaraderie of men and women in the water out here in Tofino.
Yeah, there is very, very limited times so I paddle out, and there isn't some hooting and hollering and cheering each other on when we're out there when the good waves are coming through.
Surfer in red having a look.
Boom.
Oh,
but Surfer in white, up and riding, going down the line. Here we go. Beautiful. Nice. Did a couple check turns there.
That was Robin Clark. So just locking in her first score here.
Robin Clark.
Still early days in this heat. We have 14 minutes remaining here. Okay, we're having Red take a little look at this one. Why don't you call it in?
Little insider foam ball.
Oh. Red just getting the feet in the wax there. Surfer in red. That's Amy Souza. I was on a trip to Baja, and Amy happened to be on it this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we went down to your favorite place.
Where's my favorite place? Good old Pescadero?
Pescadero, yeah.
Pescadero. Great point break down there. Lovely locals.
Yeah, and that Pastora.
Oof. Pastora. La Pastora. Great wave when it gets really big, a little heavy. Unfortunately, last time I was down there, I broke my favorite board.
Yeah, it's some unreal waves down in Baja California, and you know, Mexico gets a bit of a bad reputation, I'd say, in the mass media these days. But everybody was super friendly, and we had a great time down there. And yeah, as long as you have your wits about you and you travel safe, then I would say head to Mexico. The waves are great, and food is fantastic.
Food is fantastic, and it's always good to brush up on your Spanish.
Yep.
You know, go see some other cultures and.
Habla español.
Un poquito, my good man. I know very, very little Spanish. I really do need to work on it better. I do get to work alongside one of the great guys that's helping us out today, Drew Burke, and I really want to go to one of his language classes. He puts on great classes.
Yeah.
And man, Spanish, beautiful language. It is on the bucket list to learn.
Yeah, it's my learnings. I try and do a little bit and brush up before I go down, but I try and the best way to learn is to go immerse yourself. So
Sure is.
if it's an excuse to travel more, I say let's learn Spanish all the time.
Let's go.
Yeah. Okay.
After this.
After the weekend.
Yeah, after the weekend.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Baja.
Baja it is, my good man. You know, this is a perfect time with the Northern Hemisphere is about to start to go off, and we're right at the beginning of it with this competition. Tofino's going to start to get some great big waves, and that's going to travel all the way down to Baja.
If you look in your screen there right now, that is not a sea lion you see out there. That is the big man, Kyler Voss. He's out swimming and taking photos of the girls for Queen of the Peak and also for SBC Surf. So
Who else we got there? Do we have another swimmer in the water?
It might be Brianna out there too. Brianna Bradley, local surf sister, very talented photographer too. I love some of the stuff she does.
She's gotten some great shots over this last summer. Really blew up this summer.
Yeah.
Working on the Surf Sister team, and
if you're in town too, stop past Kyler Voss's shop. Kyler has a great little shop where he sells a bunch of his prints, and go see him and Jamie and their dog Norman. We're so lucky in Tofino. We have so many talented photographers, videographers. On the beach today, there's Kyler, Brianna, Marcus Palladino, Adam Chilton, to name a few, and it's amazing. We have such a talented group of individuals all in this little community.
Yeah, the list really does go on. It almost seems like you can't point your camera without getting something good. It makes me even feel like I know how to be a photographer, to be honest, just with my iPhone.
I know, they make it easy on you with iPhones these days.
They sure do. They sure do. My Nana loves all the photos I send home of the great community that we live in, the beautiful, untouched.
Speaking of Nanas, if anybody's out there on the old Twitter sphere, we got a couple new posts. Joe Divizia, he's having a fun day down on the beach. Posted a photo. Thanks, Joe. Okay, we got a paddler.
Ooh. All right. Well, the waves look like they're being a little bit tricky to get into.
So we're off to an early start in the heat here, Alan. Looks like White's out to an early lead with a 5.17. Red's still sort of hasn't really found a wave. She's had a couple that she's pulled into. And Blue's sitting on a 1.50. So with 10 minutes left in the heat, still lots of time for these girls to build in their score line.
You know it. Lots of time left. Some waves coming in on the horizon there. We're seeing the competitors paddle out, wanting to get in position for this set wave. Could be the one to really break the difference between each other. Like we said earlier, the top two advance, and the rest of them, well, they don't have to go home. They just don't get to compete much longer. So the beach is open down the way. They can catch some more waves. They put on the suit. Might as well catch some more. But here we go. Rider in red and white up and riding. Looks like the white was able to get some open phase coming up for a turn, but gets it closed out on, unfortunately. Now, the wave choice is tricky. It's definitely tricky. I would say the lefts are a little bit ones to go for as this beautiful helicopter flies over top. Might be Atlee Air. I don't know. I need to get a little look at it. But
maybe it's Jeremy Koreski flying in. That guy's always in a helicopter.
Yeah, he gets that's how he gets the good shots, I say.
Yeah.
Where is he flying around?
Old Jerry. Another talented photographer. Kind of the pioneer.
Really was.
Yeah.
Really was.
Yeah.
So I know you guys can't really see who's sitting beside me, but I have and I say
here goes Amy.
Ooh, Amy
looks to go forehand, cuts back to her backhand. Little wiggle. That may help her score line a little bit, but still no serious damage put on the board by surfer in red, Amy Souza. Maybe Brianna's giving her some tips on where to sit as she paddles back out there.
Ooh, here comes a nice line.
Ooh, surfer in blue. A little late on that one and just does a little somersault on the way out.
Nice dismounts. You know, they get points for me, not from the judges, but they do get the points for me for doing some good dismounts.
Yeah, we maybe internally we'll have a wipeout award. There was one really good wipeout during the longboard first round this morning.
Oh, yes, there was.
Yeah, so all these surfers here are vying for the spot in the round of 32, where our top 16 seeds will surf tomorrow. A bit of a storyline, I guess you could say. Matea Olin is fresh out of the water from being over at the ISA World Juniors in Portugal, where she quarterfinaled. Matea is 12 years old, still has another 3 years left to surf in the under 16 division, and went up against some of the world's best young surfers and placed an equal 9th. So she's back here at home in Tofino and looking to challenge defending champion Hannah Scott. Hannah was the shortboard champion last year, so we'll see all of them in the water for the first time since last year. Also back from California, former champion Sarah Taylor. We're stoked to have the California ladies representing Southern California. I think the Newport sort of Huntington zone is what she calls home. I think a lot of their stuff gets posted on Jetty Girls. Yeah, and then there's always Leah Oak, and it's really anybody's contest this year. So, Leah Oak is not, I apologize, couldn't make the trip this year. So back in the water, we have just under 7 minutes left in this heat. Again, swell was supposed to drop today, and there's no signs of it slowing down so far. So looks like we have a great weekend ahead of us. Maybe the weather reports changed too. Maybe it's just sun all weekend now.
Yeah, I do believe right now we just had slack tide just finish off, so tide's going to start to pull out soon. So we'll see that inside sandbar slowly start to change to that outside sandbar in a couple hours here. But here we go, rider in red, paddling for a wave, not able to make it. Just a little tricky, you know, really trying to find that zone so they can get right into that pocket of that energy to ride that wave in and impress the judges.
30. So I'm just looking at the weather report, and it's looking like every day we've looked, the amount of rain drops for Saturday. So I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that it's not gonna rain tomorrow. It's a 40% chance on Saturday. It looks like 12 to 14 degrees all weekend. Then Sunday, sun comes back out. So weather is going to cooperate. Surfer in blue up and riding. A little late on her takeoff there. Don't think she was too stoked on that one. Some body language there at the end of that ride.
Yeah, showing some frustration out there in full force, and
a lot of these surfers, they go out and free surf, they get good waves, and Queen of the Peak is the first contest they enter. So, sometimes there's some nerves, and it is challenging. There's a lot of eyes on the beach watching, and you're on the live feed, put together by Sports Canada with internet provided by Mazcon. There's some of the girls heading out here in the next heat. Looks like that might be a bit of a heat, that one.
Oh, it looks like it is, absolutely. We're gonna see some good surfing from us already.
Heat number 2, 5 minutes remaining.
I think I can smell that wild side, man. It's wafting up here. Thank you, Wildside, for hooking us up. All right, another little rider going for it.
Situation update for surfers in the water.
Here we go. Surfers that are in the water, we have 5 minutes for them.
Surfer in yellow, you are currently in 4th place. You're looking
Yellow's
to
in 4th place.
a backup score.
They,
Surfer in blue, you are in 3rd place.
Surfer in blue is in 3rd place.
4.
And who do we have in 2nd place? We happen to have red. Red is in 2nd. And that means white is in 1st. So it's a bit of a tight game still. Anyone's one wave could really change the whole thing, because if you get it, I haven't seen too many great waves go through for them, being in the right spot and doing any big maneuvers. But yellow over here might, not on your screen, oh, closed out. Where do you get your hair cut, Mike?
Jess Taylor at Salty Dolls cut it this last week here.
Oh, it looks good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it does look good. I've been needing to get a cut for a while, and I feel very lucky that Billabong gave me a hat to cover my mug. But very nice hat. Probably one of the best hats I've ever worn. We'll say that.
Yeah, Billabong, they hooked us up this year.
They sure did.
Yeah.
They, this is for the ladies, but they didn't shy away to make sure that we looked good because there are a lot of great athletes out there, and we need to do our part to make sure they know they're valuable. Here we go. Got some lines coming through. It looks like that current is really tugging them away from that peak of that left. As this set wave rolls in, we have rider in white standing up, getting ahead, doing a turn right in front of our good old cameraman Kyler Voss. So we'll see what the judges throw down for that. That looked like a pretty nice little maneuver.
Well, I'm pretty I'm pretty excited for tomorrow as we get into the business rounds here. Once we see our top seeds in the water, it's going to be a whole different world. These ladies are doing a brilliant job today, but yeah, there's a reason there's people seeded the top 16 are they're ready. They look hungry. There's $2,000 on the line.
$2,000. I really wonder what they're
would
going
you
to
do
spend
with
them on.
$2,000 if you won in a surf contest?
$2,000 right away. Won in a surf contest. I think I would, I would buy another board. I would buy something retro, something old.
Maybe shaped by a local shaper, Stefan F. Tennis?
Yeah, I think so. Like, Stefan makes great boards. I have 2 of his boards. Hunting to maybe get another one shaped from him. Yeah, I would definitely just call it, buy a new board.
What boards of Stefan's are you riding these days?
I have a Aft Tennis stub.
Yep.
And I have a bob.
Oh,
I really
love
like.
the bob.
The bob is a direct template of one of our competitors today, Steph. I always say her last name, Whiteman, right? Yeah. Whiteman. She was very gracious enough over in the corner at Cox Bay one day to let me try out her bob, and it just felt so great under my feet. I went to Stefan right away and I said, "Make me that board. I want that board, her board." And he built it for me, and it's been the best board under my feet I've ever had. So thank you, Steph, for getting Stefan to make you a great board, and then thank you, Stefan, for making another great one. Oh, here we go. Sets up. White is up and riding.
On nice left here, surfer in white. Oh, just a little. I think she waited a little bit too long to start making the transition in the top turn there and just sort of pushed out the back. Still time left. 1 minute remaining in this heat. Current situation has surfer in white out in front. Surfer in red right behind, looking to improve on a 3-1-0. And then yellow and blue in need of a score. They need to get something sort of in the good to excellent range to improve their chances in moving on into the round of 32.
All right, so I'm going to go grab some of that wild side food, and I'm going to pass it off to the Chrissy Montgomery, the lady who really puts all the love in for it. So thanks so much, Chrissy, for taking over, and here you guys go.
It's just you right now.
Give it up for Alan Pearson. What a champion. All right, up and riding. Looks like Amy Souza, one of our resident nurses at the hospital, so always know that we're in good hands. When she's not surfing, she's piecing people back together. All right, so that signal ends the round. Who do we got coming up, Mikey?
Ready, Chaz? Counting in 3, 2, 1. Sorry, Chrissy, we're just counting in the next heat in the water there. So stand by for scores on heat number 2. Welcome, Chrissy Montgomery, co-founder of Queen of the Peak. El Jefe at Old Surf Sister.
They call me Surf Mama, Surf Boss, Big Boss. I got a few nicknames. Those are the ones they call me to my face. I don't know what they call me behind my back, but I don't want to know. And Mikey J, representing. Thanks for
another year.
Thanks for being my partner in crime all these years.
Yeah.
A 7th annual Queen of the Peak.
It's crazy.
Why? Why do we do it?
Here, this is
We
on
do
your
it for
screens
those
or on live
smiles.
feed. Look at this. So stoked. That's the contest right there. That's Ashley and Amy coming out of the water. I think this is Ashley's first Queen of the Peak. talking wipeouts and having some fun by the looks of things. Little camaraderie. I love it.
I mean, that's what this contest is all about, you know. It's all about lifting each other up and having a good time. And, you know, it really is a celebration of women surfing here in Tofino. Like, there's so much love. Our surf community is so great. And then to have all our men up here judging and helping us with the behind-the-scenes stuff, it's such a great surf community. You got to love it. You got to love this town.
So next in the water here, surfer in red is Frances Kelly. Wearing white is Jessie Delavedova. In yellow, Anna Saunders, and in blue, Ali Bernardi. You got anything you can tell me about any of those girls?
Well, no, it's a couple of them are out of townies, so let's check some of our stats here, brother. Let's see what we got going on. I mean, it's great. You know, the first year we ran this contest, you know, I knew everyone's first name, last name, phone number, home address, because it was, you know, a pretty small contest when we first started. But I mean, now this year we've got 48 women in the shortboard, 48 in the longboard, and I think so far we've got about 13 princesses signed up. So we're well over 100 competitors this year. It's amazing. Lots of girls traveling from, you know, we've got people from, gosh, Ottawa, you know, Carmel, California, Winnipeg, gosh, Nova Scotia, Whistler, Oregon, Victoria. Yeah, so all over the place. It's pretty special how many people come out here to join us on the beach.
So I'm just looking for Frances Kelly so I can tell you guys something a little bit about her.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, you got it.
Got it. So Frances Kelly, she's from Victoria. She's a regular footer. Her favorite board right now is her Lost Sub Scorcher. So she, one of the questions we actually asked one of the competitors was if you have any kids, because it's surprising and it's awesome how many of these surfer girls out here actually do have kids, little surfer kids of their own. So pretty special. We've got a free daycare for if they do bring their kids to the beach, just so the moms can have a 20-minute surf heat here.
Yeah, so as you guys can see on the screen here, with this high tide, you kind of get the waves cresting and feathering just on that outside sandbar and then unloading on the inside sandbar. And if you're not just right in the perfect spot, they can be a bit tough to get into. So it's not that the surfers sort of are in the wrong location. It's a bit of a tricky lineup at the moment. In Tofino here, we do see fairly big tides. They're not huge right now. It's about a 10-foot exchange. But still, 10 feet over the course of 6 hours does make a big difference on the surf and where the sandbars line up. So, yeah, the sun's out. It's warming up a little bit.
Totally. And talking water temp, too, right now. We're just kind of in a transition period. Oh, almost. We got it. Not quite. So water temp transition, you know, coming off our, you know, summer season where we get away with wearing 4.3s, no problem. Moving into kind of the fall where, you know, a 5.4 is what you know, is to keep you a little bit more comfortable in our water temp. And speaking of wetsuits, Billabong is down at the beach, and they do have some suits for demo if anyone wants to check out their new women's hooded 5.4. It's a great suit. I own it. My nickname for it actually is the Hot and Puffy because, you know, anytime I do wear a 5 mil, I always do feel a little bit puffy in it, but it does keep you warm, man. That suit is toasty, and it's light. It doesn't hold water in it at all.
Okay,
it's
surfer
a good
in
suit.
blue. This is Ali Bernardi, just gaining some speed. Oh, just bogs out on the inside there.
Cox Bay Mushburgers right now. So, yeah, let's hope for this tide to drop off quickly just so that we can get a little bit more action on the inside.
We might have out the back here, surfer in white. There's a set approaching the lineup. She might be a little deep, yeah. Oh, she's taken off. Whitewater takeoff might actually be a smart decision. This one kind of...
And that's Jessie Delavedova. I knew I was going to mess that
Surfer
one
in
up.
yellow on a little better wave here. Steep face goes up to crack it, and the section just collapses on her. Surfer in yellow, that's Anna Saunders. I believe Anna, somebody can send us a text or let us know via Twitter. I believe she's living in Tofino now. It says Courtney on here, but I believe she's
an island girl. She's been Tofino, Yuki, Courtney.
that's Anna. Blonde Anna.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
One of the stats that I was looking at here of our 96 women that are registered. 31 of them are either current employees or past employees of Surf Sister.
Good stat.
Good stat, yes, yeah.
A third of the contest.
A third, yeah, are my ladies. So big props to my Surf Sister girls. It's so great. They're such a great team. They keep me calm while I'm going through my September crazies, getting this contest organized with you, Mike. They put up with me. I love it. I have nothing but lovely things to say about them.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yesterday we go through the motions of highs and lows, making sure that this thing's going to happen, and it always just comes together. And when the contest starts, it's like, oh, here we go. And then we find a rhythm, and yeah, Queen of the Peak 2016 is off to a fantastic start with amazing surf again. So a quick shout out to our sponsors. We just had lunch. Thank you very much, Wildside Grill. Love you guys very much. All the competitors were stoked on their little gift pack prizes as well. For anybody watching in Tofino here, if you're planning a trip to Tofino, well, we got Surfer in White up on a right.
It's Jessie Delavadova. Yuki.
That one just stretches out in front of her, but still enough time. There's 12 minutes remaining in this heat. Wildside this summer opened up the Surfside Grill located at Pacific Sands.
Oh,
and it's,
man.
I don't even really like talking about it because it's kind of the best kept secret in town. But
I know. It basically saved my summer. You know, surf until, you know, it's dark out, and, you know, by then it's, you know, 10 p.m. you're starving. So it's so great. Just drive over in your wetsuit and order a nice chicken burger. By the time orders up, you're out of your suit. So it's a great location.
all right,
Ooh,
out
couple
the
of girls.
back, Surfer in Blue going left. Went up to go hit it. I don't know if that'll be a completed ride, but still they're starting to find their spot in the lineup. And yeah, on the note of food, having a conversation with some of the judges here, everybody had their opening ceremony meal provided by Shelter Restaurant, and a lot of the competitors say it's the only time they ever order an entree all year. So,
speaking to Chef Robbie Elliott there, he was saying that more steaks get cooked on the Queen of the Peak night than they do any other night, because the girls are excited to get out and have an entree. And man, that steak is so good. I always order the steak and frites. I can't help myself.
Yeah,
Truffle fries, come on,
something about
so
it.
good.
Something about it. So yeah, even though we've got 2 food sponsors, if you're looking for more of a sit-down sort of experience.
We actually have 3.
I guess we do, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
Breakfast, Rhino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to Dwayne and his team at Rhino Coffee House, we had some delicious breakfast burritos.
Yeah, they were good.
And some coffee to get us all jazzed up.
Got to keep all the contest employees well fed. And
Because heck knows we don't pay them very good. So.
well, still lots of action. There's sets on the horizon. Surfer in Yellow having a look a bit deep on this one, I think, but so just looking out to the horizon here, a little break in the action. We got Surfer in Blue looking at this left, scratching in. No, that one's just going to run away from her. It's all right. Wouldn't have been a good one anyways. We'll give you a quick situation update for people online here. Looks like currently in 4th place, Surfer in Red. Still haven't really found her spot in the lineup. In 3rd place, Surfer in Yellow with 1 decent score, looking to improve on her backup at the moment. In 2nd place, Surfer in Blue again with a decent first wave, not a real solid backup yet, and then out front, White. So this is still anybody's heat. If anybody locks in even an average score at this point in time, they could move all the way from 4th to 1st.
Yeah, it is a pretty tight heat, as Mikey was saying. I just want to give props to the 5th girl that's actually out there in the water. The little head you can see bobbing up and down is actually Brianna Bradley. She's a surf sister, and she is a photographer. Very talented girl. If you haven't had a chance, check out her website, BriannaBradleyPhotography.com, or follow her on Instagram. She posts some beautiful pics. It's just nice seeing her perspective versus some of the boys. It's definitely her water shots are a lot more artsy. I can't say enough things about her talent. We also, in the water this weekend, you'll be seeing Kyler Voss. He has been a supporter of this contest since day one, and he's a great water photographer. He has a little studio worth checking out in town if you're in Tofino. And also Adam Chilton, our video guy. Adam's put together probably, I think, 5 out of the last 7 Queen of the Peak videos. They're all available to watch online, just recap videos. He's a talented guy himself. So I don't know about you guys at home, but me sitting here on the beach, I'm getting a little bit jealous about these waves rolling through. Kind of wish I would have called in sick today and grabbed my longboard.
Yeah, you wish.
I know.
Oh, I would love to be out there too. The waves look really good, actually.
Yeah, corner's starting to pick up there a little bit. Hey, Mikey.
Yeah, the judges are all trading. Shaz has got him on a tight schedule here. Pete just got in from a 40-minute session. Isaac was... I think he just came in, so they're doing the rotation, and the judges are getting their waves and dropping scores in between. So, as you can see, the surfers are paddling from right to left on your screen. As this tide empties out, there actually is quite a trough in behind sort of the high tide sandbar. So as the water empties out, it tends to go from the south to the north on the beach, so it turns into a bit of a treadmill. It doesn't look too bad today, but... there is definitely a little bit of current in the water. You can just sort of see the texture that it adds to the lineup. This looks like maybe a good peak for surfer in blue here.
Yeah, this looks like a nice face.
On her
she's got
forehand.
on it.
Nice casual bottom turn to top turn. Sort of pumps down into the power again. And then kicks out of that one, but still that may change the whole situation. Surfer in red on a better looking wave. If she can come around this corner, I think she's stuck behind, but nice little exchange by surfers red and blue there. That's Ali Bernardi and Frances Kelly in red. Look, the sets are still pouring in. So if you're just joining us, this is the 7th annual Queen of the Peak. Oh, we'll go to action in the water. 7th annual. Founded and organized by Surf Sister and Shelter Restaurant. One of the only contests I know of that are organized and operated by 2 non-major surf brands. It's kind of cool. We have a major surf brand behind us, but a contest complete with live feed, live scoring, full internet. Big shout out to MazCon for providing the internet and Sports Canada for doing our live feed. Sports Canada TV, just a little sort of information on them. They travel around to a lot of university and amateur sporting events throughout Canada and provide footage and live feed for university events, and cool little company they have. Check out their website and you can sort of see more about what they do. I believe last year was their first surf contest, so our first time providing a live feed, and yeah, this is it's very, very cool to have them on board. Obviously, the Wick Initiative, they've supported us since day one. Charles and Claire and the crew at the Wick.
And the Ancient Cedar Spa.
Ancient Cedar Spa, yeah. We've done everything from jewelry nights to spa nights. We've always had a massage tent on the beach. Charles is a surfer himself, and the Wicked Initiative is a big fan, and yeah.
I think we've had a couple board meetings out there with him before.
Yeah.
Before some of our, Mikey and I both sit on a couple volunteer tables in town, and often before our meetings we have what we call a board meeting, and it's pretty cute. We just surf beforehand and show up to the meeting 15 minutes late. So
yeah, we got to
Charles has definitely been out there with us before.
Charles and I got to host for Shelter and Wicked Inish. We got to host a food journalist, and part of it was to go out surfing before us, so it was kind of fun, Charles and I, and then come back and have food and drinks.
Life's tough, hey, Mikey?
Yeah, 5 minutes remaining in the heat here.
5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, so if anyone has anything to say, feel free to tweet it in, and we're happy to give some shout-outs here. I know I've got some friends in Toronto watching. Donnie Mullins, you better still be on the feed here. And I think my sister is actually tuning in from India, so that's pretty cool.
You're in need of a 4.44.
If you're able to make it down to the beach this weekend here in beautiful Tofino, BC at Cox Bay, just make sure you do park responsibly. There is limited parking. So just be kind, carpool. There's also a free beach shuttle that's been put on by Tourism Tofino and the District of Tofino that'll be running every hour from about 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. From town out to the beach here, just to help alleviate some of the parking. So yeah, make sure you be mindful of that. And then when you head down to the beach here today, just a reminder, just be respectful. We are so fortunate about how beautiful our town and our beaches are, how pristine and clean our water is. So if you see any garbage or anything, just make sure you pick it up and help us all out. Just pitch in. On Saturday, we're going to be joined here by Surfrider, the Surfrider chapter of the West Coast here. They're going to be, just doing some cleanups and interacting with the audience a little bit, doing some giveaways and things, doing some little quizzes. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, the offshore wind just sort of picked up, a little bit of easterly wind at our backs. A little bit chilly in the tent all of a sudden, but only going to make the surf better. Brendan's looking cold. How you doing, Brendan?
Good.
Brendan, our man on the mic, he's joined in with us last year and was instrumental in helping us put this thing together. Although my best image of him was sort of at the end of the contest, all sweaty on the dance floor. Hey, Mikey J.
Yeah, we try and keep the party talk out of it, but last year was an epic rap party, that's for sure. Big thanks to Odalith for putting that on.
Exactly.
Jesse Delavadova. In yellow, we have Anna Saunders, and in blue, we have Ali Bernardi.
So just over 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. If you hear somebody in the background there, it's just Brendan on the PA.
This is day one of
Still lots of sets pouring in.
the Queen of the Peak.
Beautiful day down at Cox Bay here in Tofino.
So,
Okay, surfer in blue.
Cox Bay has definitely made me do that a couple times before. This break, it's my favorite beach, but it's also the most frustrating one. This beach has brought me to tears multiple times. Yeah, getting denied.
Tears of joy.
Oh yeah, that too.
Last year we reached over 8,000 people around the world tuned in and watched this contest. So if you can spread the word and share some love to
Wow, we got
people
some
that aren't
beautiful lefts rolling in here. I wonder
Oh,
if anyone's going
look
to be
at
able to
these
get in
sets.
position for
That'd
them.
be awesome. And so we've got 2 minutes remaining left of this heat, and there's tons of waves out there to be had. These
Yeah, there's something out the back here. I wonder if anyone's in position.
I think
lefts
we
out front here are looking pretty.
Just everyone just a little bit. Yeah.
Caught off guard by that set. A little bigger set than we've seen in the last little bit here.
Man, I just mind surfed that thing so good.
So with under 2 minutes remaining left in the heat, current situation in the water, surfer wearing red. You're in 4th place. You have a combined total of a 3.23.
So with just over a minute remaining, there is another set on the horizon. And again, this is anyone's heat.
In 3rd place, wearing yellow, with a combined score of a 5.17, you have a 3 backed up with a 2.17. So looking to improve on that 2.17 again. That
Okay, we've got some paddlers here. This heat's too close to call at the moment.
You're in 2nd place. You have a combined
the
heat
old
total score of
fake and break
6.67.
there.
You have a 4 looking to replace a 2.67. And surfer in blue, Ali Bernardi, you are currently in 1st at the moment with a combined total
Yeah, Mikey,
score
if
of a
you were out there
9.70.
surfing right now, what board would you be
have
on, do you think?
5.67, and
It would be an Aftanis.
4.03. Looking to
And
replace
not just saying that
and
because he
you
sponsors the
are
event, but
currently in first with,
I'm a bigger
30
guy. I
seconds remaining
need
left
foam.
in the
Foam
heat
is your
here.
friend,
30
and
seconds remaining, girls.
always had trouble with off the rack boards, and
Sets at the back there.
Stefan and I worked on a couple boards, and we sort of found a volume amount that was to my liking, and since then we've worked off of that volume number, and I've been surfing a bob a lot. The bob is a fantastic board for out here. Lots of volume under the chest to get you into waves early.
Yeah, that's definitely a crowd favorite, that board.
Yeah.
It just works so well in these conditions. Just having that extra bit of foam to just help your paddle power, and then but still being able to be loose enough for you to be able to turn it. It's a fun board, well loved by this town.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And you can still put it on rail and turn it. It's fun. The other board I absolutely love is the sled. I've got the sled in a round tail and also round tail for when it's a little bit bigger, and then I've got the standard sort of squash tail for.
Down, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Sorry,
1.
just count it in. It's the start of heat number 4.
That horn there
Yeah, the
marks
Aftana sled is
the
another
start
great board
of
out here. A
heat
little bit
4.
more performance-y than the Bob.
Yeah, good North Chesterman's board.
Yeah,
Women's short board.
super fast, kind of loose. I've surfed it both as a quad and as a
So in the
thruster.
water
And,
for heat
I
4,
kind of
wearing
like
red,
riding it
we
with
have Amy
big fins and then a little
Shimzu
bit
from
smaller
Yuki.
center fin. And,
In
yeah, I've taken it
white, we have
to
Morgan
California and
McIntosh
Portugal and
from
love that
Tofino.
board.
Nice.
And wearing yellow, we have Christy Hagen. Three women heat here. So there's plenty of room out there to catch as many waves as you can and hopefully get some pretty good scores here. So top 2 surfers advance from each heat here with 20-minute heats. And the ocean hasn't really been disappointing all
Right, so yeah, here in Heat 4, in the red jersey, we've got Amy Shimzu. She's out of Yuki. Morgan McIntosh from South Island. She spends time here in Tofino. I spends her summers here, but I think is going back to school in Victoria. And Christine Hagen as well, wearing yellow. We currently, only a 3-person heat. We had a surfer drop out, so 2 are advancing.
There has been this kind of light of a south swell there in the forecast, so hopefully that will pulse its way through. We saw
Okay.
a window of that. this
Mikey, I've been summoned out of here.
morning.
Christy's going to take off. Oh, there's Brianna.
There's Christy Hagen up there, surfer in yellow.
Always smiling. She's hilarious, eh?
Oh man, yeah, she works for me in the summertime teaching surfing, and that girl cracks me up. She's so funny. She's such a positive person. I'm just such a treat, and I love seeing her bobbing around in the water. Again, if you can, check out her photos, Brianna Bradley Photography. Follow her on Instagram. She's got some gorgeous images. Makes us all look good.
And I want to welcome
But yeah, I'm gonna leave you here in the booth, Mikey.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll go.
Some media to talk to.
You know, I'm kind of a big deal. My.
pretty spectacular
All right.
beach.
Thanks,
out.
Chrissy.
Giving us some pretty good waves right now. October is definitely the
All right, sets pouring in on the horizon here.
conditions. It's kind of the mark of the
We got Surfer in Red taking a look. Oh, that left just doesn't pan out.
I know
There's Nora Morrison on the screen talking to Brianna. Nora's another great photographer in town here.
thing, and it's definitely a good month because that's when the swell comes. There's definitely tons of content.
Oh, look at these sets.
Throughout the end of September and into October, and kind of a welcoming of what's to come for wintertime.
So we're currently in
17 minutes remaining left.
round 1. This is the round of 48 women's shortboard at the 2016 Queen of the Peak. In the water, Surfer in red is Amy Shimzu. In white, Morgan McIntosh. And in yellow, Christy Hagen. 2 surfers from this heat will advance into the round of 32. And surf tomorrow in the round of 32. We have all of our top 16 surfers already seated. So these ladies, if they make it through today, their job gets tougher tomorrow. They're going to go up against the likes of Matea Olin, reigning Princess of the Peak champ, Canadian National Women's champ from the Rip Curl Pro in May. 12 years old but surfs well beyond her years. Lou Rogers, mother of 2, absolutely shreds. I always get blown away by how well Lou surfs. Hannah Scott, I believe Hannah's 2-time defending champion. She won last year for sure. She's also been longboard champion and shortboard champion at the same time. Brendan Dino Muhlenberg back in the booth.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Yeah, this the shortboard event and category here is starting to kind of come into its own here. The waves are starting to turn on, and yeah, as we get into the later rounds throughout this whole contest, we're going to see some pretty heavy contestants surfing. Or definitely the placing that we've done this year is everyone that's done fairly well last year has already been seeded, and so the top surfers of last year have already been seeded. They'll be surfing in round 2. So this is kind of the qualifiers. So top 2 surfers of these heats will be advancing to face kind of last year's top surfers of the contest. So we're in heat 4. of the women's shortboard. Currently, the current situation right now, so surfer in white, that's Morgan McIntosh, is currently in first place at the moment. She's sitting on a 4.50 at the backup of a 3.50, so nice start for Morgan. Has surf on your screen there. Morgan residing in Tofino and Victoria. Yeah, definitely no stranger to these waters. She's looked pretty comfortable in the longboard division this morning, and now she's doing double duty and getting into the shortboard. So definitely one of the favorites out here. I know she did pretty well last year here at Cox Bay, but yeah, Mikey, these conditions shaping up to be a pretty good contest day.
Just don't stop.
I know it's something about the.
Got a paddler here, surfer in white up and riding. Nice casual bottom turn. That one just stretched out in front of her. There wasn't much scoring potential on that wave anyways.
I mean, I rave about it a lot, but I think, end of September, October, got to be the best months for surf, at least,
My
at least
favorite
weather-wise
for sure.
as well, like coming into November, December, you get the storms, and that's kind of.
Surfer in white up on her backhand. Hits the foam, rides out of that one confidently. Surfer in white, that was Morgan.
Morgan McIntosh, yeah. We got surfer in red, it's Amy Shimizu.
Lots of speed.
Yuki, yeah, looking
spicy.
Coming in hot. Yeah, I know Amy in the past year and a bit has been pretty busy down in Yuki. Her and her husband Kent just bought Howler's Family Restaurant, and
oh, no way.
They have definitely given that thing a facelift, and I mean should be in the contingent for Business People of the Year. The fact that they've been able to pack a restaurant. I mean, Yuki already doesn't really have very many options for food, but to be full and packed every single day is
that's great.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, it's good to see that different places in town kind of come up. I mean, they should probably come and take some notes, because I know a pretty good restaurant down here in Tofino that is always busy. And I mean, that's what was it? Shelter Restaurant, I believe.
Shelter, yeah.
Yeah, no stranger to that place. It's I mean, this not just the staff, but the atmosphere that you've created down there, Mike, and the whole team down there. It's pretty much the staple restaurant in this town. It's awesome. Every time you go on there, no matter if it's full or even if it's half full, it's like still get the great quality service, great quality food, and still have a good time.
Yeah, we're yesterday at the Queen of the Peak opening ceremonies. We were talking about it. It's doing my line of work. I don't run surf contests for a living.
Mm-hmm. You should. You're pretty good at it.
But I get to eat lots of good food sort of all over North America anyways. And Tofino is so lucky. The quality of food and the level of restaurants we have here for the size of this town, I don't think people really realize it until they go away. That it's such a high level of food and service, and it's so nice to come home. And obviously, Shelter Restaurant is amazing, and the amount of things one restaurant can do for a community, it's pretty crazy. Like, restaurants don't run surf contests, but here we are, and we have a huge hand in food festivals and just about all the goings on. It's kind of more of an institution in town, and a place that on every other day of the week is a really good restaurant.
Yeah, that's why it's been such a staple of the Tofino community for so long, is that it's, you guys aren't just a restaurant. You're like it's like a family, and yeah, the support that you guys do all the time for every single event out here, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, Jay and Maddie should be down on the beach today. Jay Gildenheis and Maddie and their son Sam should be down here, and they very generous people. Like in April every year we close for the Tofino Hospital Foundation fundraiser, and in the first year of doing it, not only do we close, we donate all the food and typically all the liquor proceeds from the night. And in year one, it was $40,000 raised, strictly because the community of Tofino is so supportive of one another. There's a silent auction, a live auction I can't say enough about that night. And then last year, we raised $60,000. So in 2 years of hosting the event, we closed down the restaurant. And we lots of people donate money. Long Beach Lodge is very supportive of that night. But to raise as a community at an event in 2 nights $100,000 for hospital equipment, it's pretty crazy.
Pretty insane. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So
Especially for the community the size of Tofino, you know, it's pretty unbelievable to see the amount of support.
well, it is.
goes into that.
Tofino's a world-class venue, in my opinion, and
It's definitely the top, you know, one of the top 2 tourism destinations, I think, in BC, if not
Canada. Yeah.
Canada. You know, like, you know, the Whistler's probably definitely the forefront, number 1, and then I mean Tofino's right there. I mean, the place speaks for itself.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting. Like, we are just a town and a tax base of 2,000 people, you know, with obviously some, you know, decent-sized businesses, no big business, and you know, we see people from all over the world, and town swells to, you know, 15, 18,000 people in the summertime, and they expect to have all the perks of, you know, a big city, but we are just a small town on the edge of the earth here. We're literally, it sounds cliche, but we're at the end of the road, and that's what makes it so fantastic, is you jump on a boat or you head out into the ocean, you know, next stop Japan, and then there's, you know, that's what makes it so special here, is we're on our own, and it's raw and rugged, and you know, we have Wi-Fi on the beach today, but normally, you know, until this year, until, you know, MASCON and fiber optic, we didn't have the best internet.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely the biggest crutch for this whole area for so many years, is just the lack of internet and the lack of, you know, kind of World Wide Web kind of place we've had for so long, and finally that fiber optic has come out here and kind of feel like it's revived the town a little bit, and, you know, the businesses can operate properly with, you know, proper running debit machines, and
you can be at Shelter and stream a surf contest, Queen of the Peak.
Yeah, that's great.
We couldn't do that before.
I know, it's unbelievable, you know, like, yeah, to see how much of an impact internet has on a community. It's like, you know, this is definitely the area to see that impact. It's definitely pretty big, and it's awesome that MASCON came down here and set up this whole fiber optic live internet source down here at the beach, you know, for the judges doing the live scoring, and, you know, for us to webcast this and live feed this whole contest online. It's pretty remarkable.
So we've got some sets approaching the lineup here. Quick little situation update. It's been kind of a slow heat a little bit, but super tight. Looks like if you drop anything above a 4, you're moving into first place as some lines approach. We've got a paddler here, Surfer in yellow. This one looks like it's just going to run away from her, though. Yeah, hits the eject button. Surfer in red out the back, waiting for a bomb. Might not be a bad spot to sit, because currently Surfer in red, you are in the transfer spot. I believe that's Amy Shimzu. Surfer in white, you're currently in first place, and then Surfer in yellow, you're going to have to start digging.
I always really enjoy when, you know, in a contest, you know, staying busy. You know, there's lots of people, you know, that go out there and, you know, try to wait for those set waves, you know, because they think they're going to get a good score. But I mean, if you hang on the inside here, especially on a day like this, where, you know, there's 2 kind of banks that are working, that inside bank and the outside bank, staying busy, you know, just shake the cobwebs off a little bit, and, you know, you kind of get into your groove and you find your feet. And I feel like, you know, we're in a 20-minute heat. You kind of need to do that and stay busy and keep working.
Yeah, I agree. The as you can see, like right now, the ocean can turn off, and it seems like sometimes surfing too, just by catching waves, you can kind of luck out and put yourself in a rhythm with the ocean where you can kind of spin and get into more waves. Whereas when you're out the back, they'll roll underneath and you don't even really look. They don't look like a scoring ride, but all of a sudden on the inside bank there, it's a fantastic wave. So
yeah,
different strategies, and, you know, sometimes one works and the other one works other times. So
that's the beauty of surfing, you know, and especially contest surfing too, is that it everything's so unpredictable, and that's why it makes it so much fun to watch, especially online, and, you know, and even, you know, down here at the beach. It keeps you on your toes, because, you know, you'll see right now we have a set approaching here, and they come every so often, but it's exciting to watch. Definitely.
Okay. Hopefully call this Surfer in white up and riding on her backhand. Nice looking wave. Nice casual bottom turn, top turn combo. Doesn't quite ride out of that final maneuver, but does probably going to drop a score there. Whether or not it falls into her score line, we're going to have to wait and see.
Morgan, yeah, she's definitely got some pretty good scores.
Morgan is out front, so just building house.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't believe there's a cap of waves. I think it's kind of a free for all. They can catch as many waves as they want. It's kind of a bit of a better scenario how to run a contest is, not having a cap on the amount of waves you can catch. That can really stress the surfer out, especially in a contest if you're limited to 10 waves max, and you always have that on your mind.
Dino, I'm going to pass you off to the silky sounds of Alan Pearson here.
Beautiful. Thanks for.
No worries. I'll just be right here on the PA if you need me.
I'll do like for online. I'll just be like, we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be back shortly. Just let me know when you're gonna play it. Mine's down.
No, Alan's.
All right then. Well, look at this. The ocean's still there. The ladies are out there working hard, trying to get into some of these beautiful lefts that are streaming on through. That current still being a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
To really take them away from where that peak is streaming through.
Some beautiful ladies catching some beautiful waves. No shortage of those in Tofino.
Absolutely not.
What?
Very passionate, very skilled women that really come to Tofino.
And it's a great weekend to show the appreciation for the girls.
Absolutely.
Firma girls.
Forma girls, for the
Firma.
girls, for the girls.
We started a new one. Firma girls.
Firma girls. Yeah, they deserve it.
Yeah.
They do deserve it. It's not easy paddling
We got
out there.
Morgan.
Oh, there we go.
Nice looking right there.
Way to
Little
finish that wave,
foam
Morgan.
climb. Nice. I know she's sitting on some two pretty good scores here. She's got a 5.67 and a 4.73. I'm not sure if that'll better her score, but I mean, those nice little foam climb, nice looking wave that she had. But yeah, Morgan's definitely been staying busy, and that's what I was telling Mikey there, Alan, before he stepped off. There's staying busy, and Morgan's definitely stayed busier out of the other two surfers out there, and it's definitely showing in her scoreline.
Well, I think a really big reason for why she's doing so well out there today is she had that longboard heat, and she really came out with a huge amount of confidence from doing so well in that longboard heat.
Yeah. We got Amy Shimzu on a nice looking left here.
Opens up, finishes it off. Oh,
nice
not done.
little.
There you go. One more. Okay.
Yeah, it was a nice looking drop she had there. Kind of the wave didn't really offer much for her, but take what you can get out there.
With only 2 minutes left, you really have to start to think, I need something here. And if there's a wave on offer, you take it. And you just hope, pray, and do your best that you can.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, that wind's kind of picked up a little bit
It
here.
is a little bit chilly, a little onshore, I believe.
Yeah, but the conditions are still pretty good.
They are.
Ooh.
They are. And I was down talking to a bunch of the girls, just looking at their numbers and doing their heats, and Lindsay Henwood, who did a great job in her longboard heat, took the win in her heat, and she was really, really excited, really happy.
Yeah,
Wasn't super pumped on her overall performance. She was happy, that she got through, but she says she has more in the tank for us, and she's hoping that tomorrow she
We
will
got
get.
surfing away. We got Morgan looking at this nice looking left to see if it'll stand up for her. She's surfing on her backhand here. Nice little
there it is.
check turn off the top there. Finish it off there, looking nice in control of that one little turn she had. So
Yeah, she really is keeping herself busy, making the other competitors hunt out for a wave, because she just seems to be in the spot.
sometimes that's the way it goes. Sometimes you're rolling in with so much confidence and so much kind of swagger, as they say. Sometimes you don't have to do anything. The waves just come to you.
Just come right to you. Yeah, that's what it seems like anytime I'm going surfing with Pete DeVries. The waves just seem to come right to him. I swear he paid some surf god some money.
Yeah.
Owed to the god.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just luck of the draw. There's been countless times where I've been out there just kind of chasing the peak, and can really get down on yourself when you're
Counting down,
chasing the peak and you
5,
can't
4, 3,
put anything together.
2,
But
1.
And that just signals the end of that heat there. Heat 4 in round 1.
So that's the end of round 1, heat 4.
Sorry, just doing one.
Counting down.
Getting ready for the
3, 2, 1.
next round here.
Whales in the Point Guesthouse. We're located in downtown Tofino with beautiful views of Clay Court Sound. We have a few different types of accommodation. We have co-ed and female dorms, we have private rooms, and we have suites. If you're looking to explore the area, we offer discounted tours through our Adventure Center. High Tofino offers a sauna. We have a surf shack where you can store your board and wetsuit, and a large communal kitchen. We have a pool table in our games room and amazing views from our great room. High Tofino is an amazing hostel. We hope you can get Whales in the Point Guesthouse. We're located in downtown Tofino with beautiful views of Clay Court Sound. We have a few different types of accommodation. We have co-ed and female dorms, we have private rooms, and we have suites. If you're looking to explore the area, we offer discounted tours through our Adventure Center. High Tofino offers a sauna. We have a surf shack where you can store your board and wetsuit, and a large communal kitchen. We have a pool table in our games room and amazing views from our great room. High Tofino is an amazing hostel. We hope you can get...
Round number 1 of women's shortboard.
okay, we're back.
So top 2 surfers
Little
are
message from our
advancing
sponsor
for
there.
to surf tomorrow.
And we're back here at the 7th annual Queen of the Peak
Tomorrow is the round of 32,
Women's
so
Surfing
all of our
Championship.
top
7th
16
annual. I can't
surfers
believe this has been going on for 7 years for Mike
So the action
and Chrissy.
is only gonna get
Really
heavier
came
here
together,
at
and they're
the
blown away that it's been 7 years that quickly.
Lots of
Yeah,
swell still
you know,
on
time flies when you're
offer here at
killing
Cox
it, you
Bay.
know?
We've got, it's roughly
Does it ever?
4 or 5
Especially when you live in this town.
as well today.
Yeah,
Time
you know,
flies. Way too much fun happening out here.
that's pretty much the way it goes, you know, when you're having fun every single day. You know, like, can you believe it? It's the end of September, September 30th.
No, I really can't. This summer went by so fast. I met so many great people, lots of awesome tourists, great waves all through the summer, and you know, we're starting to get that winter swell, which we're getting to see right here, right now. The ladies are surfing it on the short board.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty awesome here with the conditions here. It's leaving the field pretty much open, you know, and
the speed of sound, we got speed of light here down
you
on
know,
the
leaving
beach
it
again.
open for
Making
everyone
my
to
score
pick
top
off waves
as
and
well.
get some scores on the board, which is
Giving you guys the opportunity to
it's
try
always a good thing when
on Instagram
you know
and,
you have waves, especially out here at
social
Cox
media.
Bay. I mean, it is a bit of a swell magnet too, especially come this time of year, and it's great having this contest this time of year because
Go say
no
hi to
shortage of
all the
waves.
sponsors on the beach down on the south end here. We
So
have the
maybe we'll roll in and
hostel.
introduce the
So
competitors here,
Tofino
Alan. We'll
Whalers
see.
on the
We're
Point
heat
Guesthouse here,
5,
doing
round
some
1
giveaways,
now in the
so go say
water.
hi to them.
Yeah, just the
Beside
qualifying
them,
round to
we
get
have
into against the
Pharmacy, Epic
people who've done this
Pharmacy,
beforehand. We have in red Freddie. She was in the longboard competition. She
directly to
got
the
through
top
already.
left, we've got
So
Nixon.
in wearing the red
there.
jersey for Freddie. And then
Obviously, Jay
in the
Rossi
white we
giving
have
us a
Aaron
shot
Hall.
on the beach.
In yellow we have
Jay's
Ariane
at Canadian Blasters in
Baltic.
the tent.
And we have Kat Rosine in blue. Very much local surfers here today.
Providing, blasters, so
Pretty
it's,
heavy contention of locals there. It's
beach
yeah, it's great to
resistant
see
speed
the
that's, perfect
the
for
amount
traveling.
of
Connect
local support. I mean,
to
all
your
these
phone or
all these
audio
girls,
device
this is pretty much
via
their home
Bluetooth.
break, other than for
Look
some of
up
the
the
surfers
beach
down
scores here. We've got,
down
looks
in
like the
Euclid
Olin
there. But
sisters out in the water.
yeah, it's great to see, you know, how the knowledge comes into play. You know, all the girls that live in Tofino, and you know, you can kind of definitely tell a little bit, you know, where they're sitting, how they're kind of playing about the lineup, and that's where that knowledge comes into effect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just it's time in the water. You know, putting on that wet wetsuit, that cold wetsuit. Here's Kat Rosine up on a wave, pumping to keep on the line. She's going to kick out. Not one of her favorites, but good to get one under her belt for sure.
Yeah, definitely spending lots of time in the water with Kat down in Ucluelet there at the Wick, and
Prize money.
yeah, she's definitely pretty hungry surfer. You know, she's definitely not afraid to drop in on you.
No, not at all.
I mean, what do you do when a girl drops in on you? Not much you can do. You don't really look like a tough guy if you yell at a girl. But
Absolutely not.
you know, it's great though. It just shows the competitiveness in all the athletes out here that are competing. You know, some people surf for fun, and then some people when they're out there they kind of shut their mind off, and you know, this is kind of go time. This is what I'm here to surf, and you know, I don't want to socialize.
I don't want to socialize. And, you know, that's the thing. When you go out in a lineup, you really have to take on what the feel is out there. You know, if people are talking, chit-chatting, and they're having fun. You know, it's really great to take on that part and be open and not come in so hot and heavy. But if it's not that style, oh, here we go. Kat once again.
Kat looking at a beautiful left. She get ahead of it. Unfortunately, just got a little caught behind that whitewash there, but
staying busy.
Staying busy, getting to her feet, you know, and getting that wax underneath her feet and finding a groove.
Yeah, she's already off to an early lead. She's in first place. 2 waves in the 3-point range. Or sorry, 2 waves in a 3-point range, and taking the first place. It's early on, 14 minutes left. Lots of time, lots of waves coming through. Very easy. Kind of seems like very peaky right now. Very easy to pick off. But no one else really diving in besides Red.
Yeah, so the current situation here, we got Kat Rosine wearing blue out of Ucluelet. She's in first place at the moment. She's got 2 threes under her belt here. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some waves that are coming through that you can definitely improve on those threes. The other 2 surfers in white and yellow, they currently waiting for a wave, and then currently in second place, only a 1 wave at the moment. She's got 3.83. But we've seen kind of in the past heat and a few heats before that there's definitely some contestable waves coming through, and very, very easy to post a high score and get these judges stoked.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the judges are just waiting to hand out those big numbers.
Yeah, there's
but
only
you
been
got
a
to earn
couple of
them.
them. Yeah, there's only been what was in the longboard, we saw a few surfers post, you know, some 8s.
Excellence, yeah.
But so far, the Ocean has gone, oh, we have surfer in red on their backhand there.
Ooh, flying down the line, that is Freddie.
Freddie Giroux. That's a pretty critical drop there. Unfortunately, that couldn't really do much down the line, but yeah, judges are going to definitely like that commitment on that takeoff. If that wave opened up for her and gave her something, man, that could have been probably a wave of the day, at least for that in this heat.
Yeah, time and time again when I was surfing at North the last couple days, North Chesterman that is, and Freddie was out leechless on her longboard, giving it her all, and didn't lose that board once. I was really impressed. Didn't lose that board. I never surf without a leash because I always lose it. But, she seems to have that control, and I think you know, we have Kat Rosine is definitely a seasoned vet out here. She's been surfing in Tofino and Ucluelet for quite a while. And Freddie does want to get through, and you know, those 2 I think will be fighting for that top position, even though it won't really matter. But
yeah, it's great to see, you know, like, you know, as they're walking up to the beach, everyone's friends, and then once you hit the water there, it's kind of, see if Kat can get in this. She's got a nice looking left and just got a little caught in that foam ball. Maybe not the best wave selection because you can see out the back there, Alan. There's a pretty good set approaching here.
Oh, yes. There's a good set, and it's peeling. Nice little A-frame. Get into it early, and I think it'll start to stand up on that inside.
I mean, this bank has definitely not disappointed us right now. You know, the lefts and the rights are working, you know, beach break trestle-esque at the moment, but maybe not quite as perfect. But
maybe not as quite as perfect, but as perfect as we can really ask for on any given day.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we plan a week ahead and say, okay, this is the best day. We just say, hey, we're gonna do it this weekend. This is the weekend we want, a year in advance, and hope that the waves just happen to do its thing. And
I mean,
it is.
Yeah, there's definitely a pro in having, you know, a bit of a waiting period, but I mean, out here in Tofino, we all have a life. We all have jobs to do. You know, we can't really have a full waiting period for a contest, but yeah, that's a beauty. Like I've said time and time again, having a contest in October, you know, any given day, there's always going to be some waves. Conditions, you know, weather permitting, you know, but we got some pretty awesome weather lined up. It's supposed to just kind of be overcast, you know, mix of sun and cloud all weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, and really when we do get this overcast wind, that's what Cox Bay likes because then it blows southeast. And that's
is
offshore. That's
yeah,
what we want.
that's the beauty of fall out here is
It's offshore every day.
winds are pretty much offshore. The temperatures kind of cool down a little bit, and those southeast and east winds are more apparent than those typical northwest winds you see in.
Cool. All right. It looks like a bit of a paddle battle out there in our screen. We can see Kat Rosine, Freddie, and Ariane trying to get into the position.
He's definitely leading the way. I wonder if it's a bit of tactics out there. Maybe Kat pulling the other contestants away from the peak there, but we'll see how this unfolds. There's a bit of a set approaching here.
Yeah, Kat seems to be eyeballing something up, and
It's got a beautiful look and right. It's
doesn't
just
go for
couldn't
it.
quite get in there, but there's a set out the back.
Ooh, White on a ride in our whole view. I didn't get to see it, so we'll see what the judges throw down. But let's see what this set looks up. Looks like it's just a one big closeout, unfortunately. Now, if you in this world of sets, if you have that big wave that bowls through first, then you see how that water gets like nice and foamy, and the wave comes up to it after. Riding in that foam isn't the easiest in the world. It's very like a little bit wild.
turbulent,
Yeah, your fins have a hard time dealing with it. Do you think the judges take that into account at all if you're, in that wave selection there?
I mean, at the level we're at right now, in early in the contest stages, I mean, I would assume so, but at the same time, it also comes down to wave selection as well. So, understanding, if you take that big bomb set and the next couple of waves are going to be a little turbulent, a little messed up, I mean, that's not the judge's fault. That's your wave selection fault. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, it is definitely a little harder to surf when that face that wave is a little chopped up, but I don't think it'll factor into the scoreline because to get a good score and to post some good scores, obviously, yeah, going on the set wave is really good because it shows a commitment to difficulty and it also has a degree of difficulty as well, dropping in on a bigger wave and surfing down the line on a bigger wave because you definitely have way more speed and you're able to do a lot more critical maneuvers and critical turns and so yeah, that's pretty much what the judges want to see. I mean, we've seen a little bit of it, we've seen glimpses of it, but yeah, at the moment I feel like on this high tide it's all about wave selection because we've noticed lots of closeouts. I mean, there is that random open shoulder that we have seen, but it's going to come down to wave selection, I feel like, especially as that tide starts to shift. We're out just on the switch now. High tide was about an hour and a bit ago, so conditions will definitely be changing a little bit. We'll see how the surfers adapt to it.
Absolutely. We're starting to see that outside sandbar be more the one that's going to be on offer. Kat Rosine up again, getting a little cover up, but unfortunately not able to get out of it. Little chandelier, get the shampoo in the hair.
Wouldn't that be something? See someone get totally shacked out here at Cox Bay and
I would love that.
come out with a two-hand claim. No biggie.
No big D's. Absolutely. That, when you do something that awesome, you got to claim it,
Yeah.
You got to claim it. I would.
Earlier, Mikey and I were having that conversation about claims and how we feel about it. And, I mean, I kind of have mixed reviews. I'm kind of all for it if it's well
appropriate.
deserved.
It's appropriate. I don't really like the non-appropriate ones where they start fingering and anger. There's anger in it.
Yeah.
I like it when they're shocked. They're astonished that they made it through. They're like,
Yeah, and it's a bit of if you lay into a pretty critical maneuver, especially at a critical point in the heat. You can see we got Kat up on her backhand here.
Oh. Just not the best. She's going for a lot. Here's Freddie looking at a wave, paddling 4-1.
It's a beautiful looking wave. Oh, man.
It's too bad. But it did kind of close out, so maybe the next one. I think we haven't seen the best of Freddie yet.
Still a bit of time left. What do we got? About 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, or 20 seconds remaining. So, a bit of time left. Still tons of time to kind of post a score. We got Freddie, a bit of a late drop there, a little foam elevated drop, and just got a little off balance there.
Ooh, and here's Ariane.
Ariane with a beautiful looking left here. See what she can do.
What bam. All right. Oh, bless you.
Thanks, buddy.
You're very welcome. Very welcome.
So polite.
Well,
everyone up here at Tofino's polite.
Yeah, try to be. We're really lucky, this small community. All right, what do we got time left for it? I know you guys are all counting down at home. Just under 5 minutes. This is where the heart rate starts to pump. If you are not sitting pretty like Kat is, she must be feeling good out there.
Yeah, I feel like she's definitely, pretty confident right now with those waves that she's got under her belt. I mean, a couple of the waves to begin with, they were definitely scoring pretty well in her scoreline, but the last couple of waves she's gotten, I feel like it's been, kind of poor wave selection. She's dropped into a lot of closeouts, not going to be really getting a good enough score to factor into her scoreline. But, I mean, it could be part of her tactic.
Totally.
I don't know what's going on there. I mean, some people feel more confident the more waves they get, no matter what, if they're closeouts or if they're good waves or not. But, I mean, all you need is 2 waves. The top two waves got scored, and then top 2 surfers advance. So,
and here we go, big wave breaking out back.
Look at this set coming through.
No one's really beelining it for the zone to see what they can do. Maybe they're going to go for the reform on the inside. Kat looks like she's got her eye on something,
though. Find that left, but looks like the outside. If she can keep paddling, she may be in position. But look at that left,
look at that.
Steamrolling through.
Just once again, no one in the position for it.
And there's another one at the back there. 3-wave set. And it looks like everyone's taking him on the head. But Kat's way down on the shoulder. She might be able to pick this one off here.
She wants it. She's not going to give up on it. Here we go. She's up and riding.
Beautiful looking left here. Let's see what she can do here.
Bit of power pump. She's getting a wall. Yes. That's what we were looking for.
There
well done.
It's a beautiful looking turn there. Unfortunately, she got a little caught at the end, but I don't know. Do you think she rode it of it clean? We'll see how that factors. The degree of that turn was pretty insane.
Yeah, she really set herself up. She eyeballed that one from a while away. I bet her husband and daughters are on the beach just, cheering her on, making her feel good. That is one of the best waves we've seen so far.
Yeah, Kat definitely, her knowledge of this area definitely played into account. She saw her in the earlier sets or waves in that set, making her way out past the break and positioned herself pretty good for that left. Here we
go, Freddie down the line with some spade. Oh, unlucky.
Looking like it was going to be a good one, but yeah, it's almost like you got to sit pretty far on the shoulders. They're pretty fast right now on this high tide bank, but
we can see the difference between that last wave that Kat just caught. She was able to kind of get in with the foam and then up and riding and got like 3 or 4 pumps in to build that speed to set herself up for that turn.
Yeah, I really like how she stuck with that too at the start there. Just used all that power that she has to stabilize herself and taking off the foam. It's pretty tricky. There's lots going on. Your board's bouncing around, and let alone your arms are trying to compensate for all that movement. But she held it down pretty good and definitely got the wave of the set. We'll see. Just waiting for some scores to drop. We'll see what she's gonna get for that.
All right. So, looking at this, I think, this heat is about to come to a close. Under a minute left in this heat. 2016, 7th year for the Queen of the Peak, women's shortboard, all women's competition. beautiful Cox Bay. Just a little bit. Great being part of the commentating. Very lucky. I feel very blessed to be a part of here and getting to give you the beautiful description of what is happening out in the water with these women that are working really hard. And as the time starts to click down with under 10 seconds left, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is it. That's it. That heat is now over, and I do believe we have a Kat Rosine with the top spot. And we're still waiting for those judges to really give us a finalized idea of what's happening. And I do think we're gonna cut to commercial pretty soon and give a little look at our sponsors. Stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a moment. All right, welcome back to the 2016 Queen of the Peak, 7th year. What a
7th
day.
Annual.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what a beautiful video. Well done, Adam, on the videography. No stranger to putting out some quality work. Look at this.
Oh, head-to-head.
3-person drop in.
So Marcus, Peter just volunteered you to
See what happens on that one. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. One girl going left, one girl going right.
Towards each other, a little eyeball, a little game of chicken.
Give him a piece of wood and joust.
Let's see. That could be a new sport, too.
Surfing jousting.
Surfing jousting.
I've thought about that. You know, get a stand-up paddle.
Oh,
Put a tennis ball in the end.
there you go. That's
Joust.
safe. That's safe. Don't do this at home, kids.
Maybe next year for the Weird Off.
Ooh, that could be a whole new event.
A whole new
Absolutely.
event.
We'll have to put it to the
Surf
boys.
jousting.
Absolutely.
Anyways, we are back here.
On what round are we at here? I think we are 6.
Heat 6, round 1 of the women's shortboard.
We got
And
Surfer
who
in
do
red
we
waiting.
have?
Myself.
Surfer in red.
Brandino Muhlenberg alongside with Alan Pearson.
Have 14
That's
minutes
right. And out in the
remaining.
water,
Down.
14 minutes
we
remaining.
have Leslie Stokes, Isabel.
Leslie, 14 minutes remaining.
Sorry, Leslie is in red and Isabel is in white. And just give you the
Current situation,
Brooke
all
Elliott's in
surfers
yellow and
drop
Charlotte
one
Montgomery
score,
is in blue.
none of them of any serious
blue. So
consequence. Everybody's
nice
looking
little
for
colors
backup
out there.
at this point.
Nothing specific on the reason why they are the colors they are, but it's just whatever color you like. You get to pick the jersey, you get out there, and you just go and surf your best for 20 minutes.
That's the thing, you know. I mean, if it was like that, just pick whatever color you want. That would be
What color would you pick?
if I had to pick a jersey color.
Yeah.
Color would I pick?
Yeah, what color.
Yellow, because I'm always leading the way.
Ooh, leading the way.
Yellow
Wearing the
Jeep-
yellow
Jeep-
jersey,
The Jeep leaderboard.
like Wilco.
You know it. Not no more.
Not no more. That's right.
Unfortunately, Wilco's kind of
Old
gotten
names.
a little funk.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
you know, it's a tough one. Seems almost a little bit funky what's happening here right now. I know you can't really tell too much on your screen, but the ladies are sitting way more south than the last heat. We'll find out if that's the right choice. We do have some seasoned vets in this competition, a couple surf sisters.
I feel it's just looking at the beach all morning here with that dropping tide. It looks like a bit of a rip going on out there where all the girls are kind of getting drifting down to. But look at this pulse of waves here kind of coming into the corner here. There's that glimpse of that south.
Yeah, so the
Be
south
nice
one
if-
might be pumping through.
Be nice if that south swell did show up.
Ooh.
I mean, whenever a south swell makes its way all the way up here, they're always pretty good.
Yeah, they traveled a long way to get here, and we get to catch the last 9 seconds.
Yeah, that's the only thing about up this area is a bit of a buzzkill is that those south swells are never really predominant up here as they are in kind of California and Oregon or by the time they get up here, they've kind of gone so far that all that energy that once was, it's kind of pretty much non-existent. I mean, we had quite a bit of south swells actually at the start of June.
Sure did.
I believe
Sure
right
did.
after the Rip Curl Pro. It's funny how
Right after it.
right after
Absolutely.
the Rip Curl Pro, unfortunately the Pro didn't have the best waves this year, and then right after it we had this pumping south swell,
Pumping.
3 at 21.
That's what-
Long Beach maxed out.
Dreams of. That's just dreams right there. That cell swell gets into everywhere.
It's pretty rare to have a swell, that predominant, south, make it all the way up here and be that big of a ground swell too. If you guys understand how to read a swell, the bigger the period, the stronger the ground swell is. So more of that energy is kind of trudging itself off the bottom. And we had some pretty spectacular waves here for quite a while.
Oh, we sure
a couple
did.
weeks at least.
I would say this is probably one of the best summers for waves that I've been out for. Very consistent. The sandbars turned out to be really great.
Yeah.
Sure, we didn't actually have a lot of south swells. We actually had a lot more west swells,
a lot
which
more west.
is
yeah.
funny. They did predict that it was going to be a big south swell season as El Nino just came to a close for the winter and moving into that summer. But
I mean, California and Mexico, I know they got some pretty good waves this summer. But yeah, those that's the thing is you know, we're so far up north here that by the time those south swells get here, kind of go away. But we do get those odd ones that work their way up here. But
oh, we got a paddler. Ooh, doesn't make it though. What do we got here?
Surfer in white there.
Surfer in white. I think that's Isabel. That does look like
Isabel.
Isabel to me.
Trying to stay a little busy there. They have these waves are kind of looking pretty fast, and you know this tide is starting to drop. So that bank that we were seeing earlier on that higher tide is starting to shut down. So we'll see how these girls kind of adapt, and you know we might have to work their way to that outside bank, but.
Yeah, it seems like right now they're sitting in that in-between spot where they're like, I don't want to go too far out because, you know, I don't want to get nothing. And I don't want to go too far in because I don't want to get my bell rung.
Yeah, exactly.
So finding that in-between, that can be a dangerous spot to be when you're in a competition, not really knowing where to sit.
Yeah,
you should be sitting on the beach looking, finding your spot where you want to be. And here we are. We have a rider up in blue.
We have surfer in blue down the beach there. Unfortunately, not on our camera screen. Got a pretty good left.
We'll see. That almost is out of competition area. That's pretty far down. And we'll see what the judges say. But here we go on that inside bank.
Got a pretty good set that just rolled through here. It's got surfer in red looking for this one.
Oh, that would have been a great wave. That would have given a lot on offer, a good closeout hit. But
yeah, I know what you're saying here. Alan, as that tide drops, that inside bank, it's getting pretty dumpy and pretty heavy. And wonder if some of the girls out there are kind of hesitating on dropping in on some of these waves and don't want to get their bell rung, as you said, you know, because that does take a lot out of you if, you know, you take a pretty heavy spill. And, you know, we see surfer in blue there. She got a pretty long left, but not getting caught on the inside. And that eats up valuable time when you have a 20-minute.
Oh, it's so shallow where she is right now, too. Where she is, it's shallow. It's just reaming up, and it's just dumping on her, and she's just hoping to make it out there. Then she has to paddle against the current to get back to her spot. Kind of call it spot X, the spot that you want to be, catch those waves.
Do you want to thank some sponsors?
I sure would. You know, this event cannot be done without all the help from our sponsors.
They're pretty important.
They sure are. Shelter, number
Surf
one,
Sister, yeah,
you know, and Surf Sister.
Co-founders of this event, Mikey Jacobson, Chrissy Montgomery. Can't really thank them enough.
No.
For what they've done over the years, and especially the restaurant Shelter, and you know Surf Sister being who they are and what they represent. And they're pretty much the front runner of female surfing. You know, being so supportive of an all female staff.
All female staff.
You know, controlling the beach during lessons. I've been doing lessons at Long Beach and even at Chesterman's, and you know I have to take a little group out of about 6 to 10, and I see an army of pink.
I think
sweaters.
they call that the pink tide.
The pink tide.
That is that's the name for when the Surf Sister takes over the beach. Pink tide.
I've seen a max.
I've
counted about 50 or so surfers in a lesson. You know, it's pretty remarkable that they have the amount of instructors that they have on staff, and to be able to manage, close to, depending on how big the group is, but up to 50 people in the water.
That's a lot of people, and Chrissy from the get-go is really great at training all of her surf sisters to making sure that everyone's safe out in the water. And there's a lot of surf schools in Tofino, and they're definitely in the top of the game.
What else we got here? We got we worked down the line Billabong, of course. I mean, Mike Redpath down at Billabong there, and he's hanging out the Billabong tent if you guys are wanting to come down to the beach.
I think you can buy some stuff down there too. They might have some deals going on.
I think you can buy some stuff down there. Even just go make yourself present down here at the beach if you guys are coming down here at all this afternoon or whatever. There's tons of free stuff being given away by all the sponsors. So Billabong showing up, Wiccan and Ashin. Also we got Pacific Sands, District of Tofino.
Aft tennis surfboards. I feel like probably 90% of the competitors right now are riding an aft tennis board.
I hear the weight to get a board from Stefan these days is pretty insane too. It just shows how great boards that he's putting out lately.
2 months, I think it is.
2 month wait list, yeah. Which is
it's worth it.
It's pretty insane to see the local shaper. He's kind of sort of like the only shaper that's really putting out boards out here, but it goes to show the quality of surfboards that he's making, and that wait list is no lie. but it's totally worth it if you have the money to spend and want to get something that's got a lot of heart and soul and kind of hand shaped and crafted. I know he has that CNC machine that he's invested, which cuts a lot of time out, but still
a lot of love goes into those
a lot
boards.
of love, yeah.
Absolutely. It's not just cookie cutter. Like
Who else we got here?
things.
Tourism Tofino, of course. Ocean Village. We got Wildside Grill, Epic Pharmacy. I mean, Mask On, bringing that fiber optic down to the beach so we can.
It's a huge
Alan
job.
and I can sit here and hang out with you guys and commentate this contest. Tofino Brew Co.
Best beer in town. Best beer in the world.
Best beer on the island, I think.
Absolutely. And a great crew. Going in there, they make you feel like you're famous.
Yeah, they're definitely for the boys at Tofino Brewery. I mean, we've got Brian, Chris, Heidi, Dave, all the boys at the helm there, running a pretty awesome ship. And the crew, too, that they got working for them are,
Amazing.
pretty amazing. Every time you go in there and stop off, have a beer at the brewery, everyone's smiling, tunes are cranked, people are having fun. It's awesome. So we're going to get back to the action. We got Surfer in yellow, just a little caught behind that section. Surfer in white.
Pumping, trying to stay with the energy here. Just loses it.
Also, we got Long Beach Surf Shop, Nixon, Von Zipper, Pilot House Media, Rhino Coffee House, Sports Canada TV, Barrel Wax Co., Banger Tubs, Lisa Fletcher Jewelry, Pacific Rim Cairo, Coxsey Beach Resort, and Odalith.
And more. There is more. There is lots more. Just not, no naming. They kind of want to be a little bit more quieter on the lower scenes there. But it takes a village. And we have it. We have the village and the community that cares. I'm just looking over my shoulder here at a couple competitors getting ready. Getting ready to get out there. Kat Lightspeed. She's a Storm Surf Shop employee from the East Coast, getting ready to get into her heat. She's going to be out there for the last one. As we're counting down the time for this heat right now, heat number 6 in round 1. We have 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes left, and quite a few scores dropping. It's a bit of a close call for that second place between yellow and blue, with blue being in second place and yellow being in third. So we'll see who will take
this
it.
heat unfolds. Yeah, I mean, there's still tons of time left. It's kind of anyone's game at the moment. I mean, there's a couple scores we got here. I'm seeing Surfer in white. That's Isabel Fischbacher. She's got a pair of threes. Definitely can improve on one of those. She's sitting in first with a 7.50. And then Surfer in blue, that's Charlotte Montgomery. She's got a 5, and she's got a 1.33 to back up. I mean, Alan, we've been seeing waves coming through all day. It's definitely a no-brainer. You can definitely beat a 1.33. You pretty much just have to stand up and go down the line.
You just have to stand up, go down the line. And we got some waves coming in. We do have some waves coming in. We'll see who's going to go for what. A bit of a paddle battle going on out there between white and blue. Isabel wanting to up her score, take advantage of that lead.
I think Isabel's got a bit of an advantage here. She's working for Long Beach Lodge. Am I correct?
No, that's a different
Isabel.
This is Isabel. She's a surf sister.
Surf sister girl.
Yeah, she's a very determined surfer. I see her out in the water a lot, really putting herself in those critical positions.
And always super happy. I mean, it's not all the time that the Tofino gals make their way down to Wick, and I've seen Isabel out at the Wick quite a few times, and she's charging some waves that some may make people a little weary on dropping in on, but and then every time you see her come out, she's smile on her face, says hello, says how's it going, and wants to make sure that that you're okay, and it's always great to see the stoke that everyone has out here. I don't surf all that much up in Tofino during the summer times because it's pretty chaotic. And it's pretty far, the Wick's just down the road, but it's great coming down here, running into people and familiar faces that don't always see because everyone's so busy.
We are busy. That's our time to
pays to play, baby.
That's right. That's our time to shine. And then when things come down a little bit, kids go back to school and all that fun stuff, the locals head to the water.
Yeah.
Chill out. Here we go.
Hopefully she'll mix up the draw a little bit, but
All right.
The action's gonna get heavy.
So here we go. Last, counting it
about
down here
about
from
10 seconds in this heat here.
and 5 seconds
5,
left.
4,
4, 3, 2,
1.
1. The heat is now over. We'll wait for the official scores to come from the judges here. We'll let you know who took that heat, but I do believe it was Isabel in first.
Yeah, she was definitely looking the busiest surfer out there in that heat there. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break here, guys, and we will join you guys in just a bit.
Okay, counting down. 3.
So love, like backside turns, this is the kind of rotation we're looking for. You can see the head and shoulders facing fully opposite direction to the nose. And on a turn like this, now you can see how far you've got to go between you and the whitewash.
Right on. We're back. Thanks for watching there, guys. We are here live at Cox Bay. Current people in the water here. This is the women's shortboard. Heat number, I believe it's heat number 7. We have in red, you just saw on your screen there, that's Jillian Montgomery. In white out in the water, we have Amanda Levitt. In yellow, Trinity Eagles McKinnon, and in blue, we have Leanne Pelosi. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Leanne Pelosi will be starring in the Full Moon movie on Saturday at Shelter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pro snowboarder.
I cannot wait to see that movie.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty awesome snowboard video here. That's going down on Saturday night here.
Surf in the snow.
So
There's another video premiere. Do we have coming up? I do believe, at Shelter?
I believe after the snowboard premiere, there's a surf movie premiere. Jack Freestone's new movie.
Jack Freestone. Great surfer on the world tour. Looking great. Here we go. I don't know if you can see on the live feed just yet, but I'm sure they'll cut into it at some point, show you the Coast Guard saying, hello, how's it going? Stay safe out there.
Yeah, so if you guys are going to be making your way to Tofino this weekend, we got a little event schedule here. So on Thursday, yesterday, there was a Zumba for Hospital Foundation Zumba class at the Tofino Community Hall. They had a dance aerobics. It was a $10 donation. All the proceeds went to the Tofino Hospital Foundation, which is a pretty awesome foundation. And yeah, it was great. Great turnout on Thursday. Then also Thursday night, last night, there was a kind of a competitor check-in dinner at.
Ooh, that was a wipeout. Sorry about
at
that.
Shelter there. But it's coming up tonight here. Contest all day today. And then tonight, there's the backside kickoff party going on at the Tofino Hostel. So that kicks off at about 6 p.m. till about midnight. There's a dance party with DJ Ginger Slice and DJ Dennis. And covers all by donation. And all the proceeds go to the West Coast Transition House. And there'll be $5 beers and burgers and free entry for the Queen of the Peak competitors. So there is a kickoff party tonight.
Yeah, and
Hostel.
with the fact that the hostel setting out there, have a beautiful. It's a beautiful spot. One of the nicest hostels out there. Right on the water in the inlet. Absolutely awesome.
What else we got here on Saturday? Going on at Shelter. That's going to be a pretty awesome night. So there's the Full Moon snowboard film premiere featuring some pretty incredible snowboarders here. We have one girl that resides in Yuki, Marie Francois. She'll be in that, as well as Surfer in Blue, Leanne Pelosi on your screen there. She is in that movie as well. So come down to Shelter Restaurant. That's what that kickoff movie premiere starts about 9:30. It goes to about midnight. And then also we'll be showing Jack Freestone's new movie, Low Profile. If you guys haven't heard Jack Freestone, he's one of the best up-and-coming surfers in the world. He's actually currently on the CT World Tour. I mean, not having probably one of his best years that he's used to, coming up from the juniors.
Yeah.
He came out with a bang. He had a couple good events. He went up against John in Brazil in the finals. But I feel he's definitely underachieving, than he should be, because that guy's an incredible surfer. But anyways, that's presented by
Ryder up in
Billabong.
red, going down, doing a nice little turn, ends up losing it. Cutting back to Jack Freestone there, he actually is dating the queen of surfing, Lana Blanchard. She just dropped a new edit a little while ago. He's coming onto the scene. He's definitely working his butt off to do well, but it's not an easy thing to get to the top level of the World Tour.
He's sitting on that kind of transition zone there of potentially being knocked off tour if he doesn't do well in the next up-and-coming the European leg and stuff. But I mean, that being said, anything can happen, as we've kind of seen in surfing. The conditions always change, and you never know. But anyways, that's presented by Billabong, and all the proceeds, and there'll be a raffle, and all the proceeds from that raffle will be donated to the Tofino Hospital Foundation. So again, giving away all the prizes, all the prize money to, all the donations to the Tofino
Transition House.
Yeah, it's great. And then on the Sunday at the Tofino Legion from 9 p.m. until about 1 a.m., there's the official Queen of the Peak after party.
And that one is going to be insane. That's going to be off the chain.
Presented by Odalith.
They know how to throw a party. And when you get
couple.
when you get Chrissy and our big man Mike over here together and there's a party on a dance floor, you better watch out. Bring those dancing shoes. It's going to be a time. Yeah, it does get a bit rowdy out there, but all in good fun and good faith for this amazing competition that is going on. And we are in round 1, heat 7. And it's a tough one out there with only 11 minutes and 30 seconds left. The waves have been, they're pumping, but are they pumping for the competitors in the right spot? I don't think so. I think they're having a hard time.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty tricky, man. As this tide, Alan, is... as we were saying before, this tide's dropping right now, and the conditions are changing. So, I mean, these girls are definitely going to have to adapt to where they're sitting out in the lineup. And, I mean, the surfer in white here, looking at a pretty good right. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite get into it.
Wow,
but surfer in blue,
interesting move.
Surfing underneath there. I don't know what's going on there. Unfortunately, surfer in blue couldn't get up.
She's going to go for another one.
Right.
Dig, she's got to want it. Get up.
You got to want it.
Yes.
She wanted it on that one.
She does want it. Oh, but unfortunately
just got a little stuck on that.
Yeah, few more paddles maybe could have helped her out there.
That's that
Get her
inside
into that.
sandbar as we talked about earlier. You know, it's kind of just reeling and dredging off the bottom and you know, steepening up that face, which makes it a little tricky for you know, girls to kind of get control of their board.
Anyone.
Anyone.
You know, just anyone in general. You have to. You have
gotta
to match the
you gotta
speed,
want it.
and you do have to want it.
You gotta want it.
You gotta
That's the
put your
thing.
body on the line.
Yeah, so out in the water, if you guys are just joining us online here, we have in red in Heat 7, this is round 1 of the women's shortboard. In red, Jillian Montgomery. In white, Amanda Levitt. In yellow, Trinity Eagles McKinnon. And in blue, Leanne Pelosi.
All right, let's drop some scores for you in this Heat 7. So we have in 4th place, blue. All right, still working on to get a nice wave to set up the score. In 3rd place, we have white with their best wave at 2.0. And in 2nd place, we have yellow. And taking away the lead, the red. Red seems to be on top today. It does seem that red is taking the wins a lot. I wonder if that's just the color base or brings the fire. They get angry, gets them fired up. We'll find out. Soon find out.
Yeah, that Jillian Montgomery definitely pretty comfortable out here. You know, over the years she's her surfing's been looking pretty good lately, and yeah, no stranger to the waves here at Cox Bay and these changing conditions here. I personally enjoy surfing a beach break. I think it's awesome. I mean, it does get a little hectic sometimes when you know you don't have those ideal conditions as you know you say you would if at a perfect point break, but it's great because you know not everyone's crowded at one takeoff spot, and you kind of really got to earn that wave that you're paddling for. Where I mean, I find at a point break it's definitely makes surfing a little bit easier, but I mean, having a perfect wave in your backyard, you're bound to be a good surfer no matter what.
Absolutely. You know, it's those point breaks, when you ride them for a while, by
Leg
no
burners.
means do you think you're just like, well, this kind of gets boring just going one way. You know,
No.
like maybe I want to go left, maybe I want to go right. And that's what we get here. You get to go wherever way, you get to go any way you want.
Surfers go both ways.
They sure do.
Yeah, right or left.
Right or left.
There's no bad way.
And just for you guys at home that maybe don't spend too much time out in the water, when we're thinking about when we're talking right or left, it's always surfers right or surfers left. So on your screen, it may look like you're going right or left, but a right will look left to you and a left will look right. But to them,
It's a very interesting point, Alan.
yeah, bit
Good to know.
tricky. I remember when I first started to learn how to surf, I was in Australia and these guys were being like, "Oh, look at that left," and I was like, "What are they talking about? What is that? I
It's
don't
going
understand."
right, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's moving across the right, so. Oh,
Yeah, the conditions out there are getting a little funky. You see tons of rip in the face of those waves here. I mean, I'm looking to the south side of the beach here, and me being a goofy footer, I'm loving the looks of these lefts. But Heat 7, all the ladies out in Heat 7 are kind of hovering around the north end of the beach here, and kind of stoked on this one peak. But I don't know, Alan. I'm not really seeing too many rippable waves come through over there.
you're absolutely right, Dino. There are not that many good rippable waves over there. I was thinking that with the time left at about 7 minutes, they should catch a wave in, run down the beach, and just try to get one wave.
It just
You
looks
get
a little
one
cleaner
good
down
wave.
there.
It looks so much. It looks perfect. I really, you know, looking at the next girls that are about to go out for the heat here, they're looking at the southern end, and I think we'll see a shift at where people are focusing their attentions.
Definitely looks like they've got the right idea of heading out in that direction because yeah, as that tides begin to drop, I believe it's kind of in that in between that outside bank and the inside bank. There's that little hole there where all this rip is kind of funneling along there, and I think that's kind of messing it up a little bit. But ladies are still getting scores.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're dropping. They're definitely dropping. We have a little bit of time left. Sometimes as a competitor, it feels like you have a world left, and sometimes it feels like you only have a second. Even with 5 minutes left, it's really all just how you're doing.
Alan, I got a question for you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So, you being a long-time Tofino resident and working kind of in one of the more forefront shops here in the surf industry, how have you seen this town grow you know, has it been a positive or a negative?
Oh, it's absolutely been a massive positive. I moved here about about 4 years ago, and got a job at Pacific Surf Co. And they just
Open the front door.
opened the front door and really just let me kind of hang out and get to have fun with them every single day. And the town has just, I swear, like doubled in size, tripled in size even. Every year it just gets busier. And you think, can it get busier? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. But that's, as a business owner, that's what you want. And as an employee to get full-time work, that's what I want as well. So the busier, the better. In my mind, you know, there's always going to be slower times and great times, but you know, we're really lucky. We live in this beautiful place. I step out my front door and I get to enjoy it all.
I find being out here. I mean, I'm growing up in Port Alberni or specifically kind of growing up on Sprout Lake and not really
5 minutes remaining in heat number 7.
knowing this was in my backyard, but never really coming out here and calling it home until I was about 17, 18 years old, and I kind of resided down to the Ucluelet side of things, and it doesn't seem to stop. This area just seems to keep accelerating at a pace where, I mean, it's definitely good for all the businesses and the infrastructure out here, and the housing market and everything just keeps going up and up and up. But there's got to be a point where,
that's what we hope.
How do you stop it? How do you stop this?
That's what they said about Vancouver. You know, before the big, the big bubble and all the housing stuff. The nice thing, I guess, about Tofino is, we're on a peninsula. We're surrounded by water on 3 sides. And on the other side, what do we have? A national park, a beautiful national park. And, there's not a lot of stuff that we can, a lot of space for us to grow too much more. Mm-hmm. It's just about companies working together, using each other to...
And benefiting from all of that,
Yeah, benefiting from it all. And, helping the people who are coming to this area treat this area properly, and also getting an amazing experience out of it.
Exactly.
This is like nowhere else in the world where we have, rainforest, ocean, mountains. You want to go fishing. Some of the best fish in the world is right here. You want to get on a fish, you can go surf in the next hour. Get on a nice little fish and
stop by Long Beach Surf Shop and go pick up a fish, and then come down here and surf. I mean, I don't know about if you guys just joining us, or I don't know about you, Alan, but I've been looking at pretty awesome waves all morning.
Absolutely, I would love to get my feet wet. It's been it's great standing up here and doing some commentating for this competition, but the surfer inside of me wants to be in that water and cheering them on from catching waves. And
speaking of who's in the water, who's in the water right now?
Who's in the water? Well, we only have 2.5 minutes left in this heat in heat 7, round 1.
Yeah, so on our screen here we got surfer in yellow and surfer in white. Surfer in yellow, that's Trinity Eagles McKinnon, and in white that's Amanda Levitt. And then the other 2 surfers in the heat here wearing red, that's Jillian Montgomery, and in blue, that's Leanne Pelosi. Staying pretty busy here. I got about 2 minutes remaining left in this heat. Yeah, they kind of fell into that trap and got sucked down to the north end of the beach here. I've noticed a bit of rip down there, but I mean, girls are trying to find a wave, but I mean, I would have kind of worked my way down to the south end of the beach a bit. It looked a bit more consistent, but maybe those girls see something that I don't.
And it looks so different. It's so easy for us to say up here where it looks good, but once you're in it, it's really hard to tell. There's waves breaking everywhere. You have to trust in your game plan that you made beforehand. Hopefully you made some sort of game plan. Looks like we have a surfer in yellow. Ooh, just missing that wave. It is reforming on the inside and then just kind of dumping over. So they really need to find that jam that just wedges up perfectly, sets them up going down the line. And no, that's not really happening. Oh, here we go. We got a bit of a wedge. And that was a non-competitor surfer just in the wrong spot. Great for us to watch him bail like that. That was great. Hopefully he gets out of the way, because that is not where he's supposed to be. It's not okay.
I think he's late for his heat.
Yeah.
In this all-women's surf contest. Maybe getting a little confused out there.
Yeah, well, the ocean really kind of showed him that he doesn't belong there, I'd say.
There's a natural selection, eh?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, poor guy. Better luck next year, bud.
Yeah.
Got great style, though, on the inside. Doing a little tuck and roll on the inside.
Getting roll.
Getting pounded. Here's another just off our screen there. But anyways, we'll get back to live action here. So Surfer in yellow there. I believe that's Trinity Eagles McKinnon. And Surfer in white. What do we have here? We have, that's Amanda Levitt. In the dying seconds here. See if anyone can get a score. It hasn't been a score to drop in a while, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, and that is the end of Heat 7, Round 1, and we're moving right into Heat 8 of Round 1, shortboarding at the Queen of the Peak, 7th annual. In red, we will have Kelly Brown. In white, we will have Mouse Myers. In yellow, Kate Lightstone. And then in blue, we have Alana Ambrovic. All right, Kate Lightstone, the Storm Surf Shop girl.
Yeah, we're gonna cut to a short commercial break here, and we'll get back to live action with you guys in just a bit. So stay tuned.
All right, and welcome back. Nice little quick little Surf Sister video there for us, teaching everyone on the beach how to be safe and learn how to surf. Round 1, Heat 8. It's going down. I think the ladies picked a different spot. They're in a little bit different zone here. A little more south.
Looks like they kind of migrated down to the south end of the beach there, and I think that's kind of a bit of a better call. We saw in the last heat there that north end of the beach kind of went a little quiet, but we'll see what the south end holds. We got Surfer in white up on her backhand down the line there.
Yeah, Mouse Myers. Mousy.
On that one.
Yeah, she's from Surf Sister. She's a Surf Sister. Oh, here we go on the screen. Beautiful hugs, putting in their effort. Lots of love. That's awesome.
It's great to see that. You just see the support that the whole community has out here, and that's yellow Trinity Eagles McKinnon. You know, getting called to the beach. There's Snow Olin. She was just over in Portugal there, along with her sister there, Matea, surfing at the World Juniors, the Visla World Juniors. What an experience. You know,
Oh, my
13,
goodness.
12, 13 years old, heading over to Portugal to compete for your country.
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine going to a beautiful place like Portugal, trying to surf your absolute best against the world's best in not only your age, but a lot older.
A lot older, yeah.
A
And I
lot
believe
older.
Matea and Snow were competing in the U16 girls, and Matea, you know, getting a little bit stuck in that quarterfinals, but she did make it to the quarters, and you know,
That's huge.
Just got to say, that's pretty big.
It's huge. That's the first time anyone in Canada has ever done that on that style of level, and she is 3 years or 4 years, I believe, younger than the top athletes that she was competing against. So you know,
Yeah.
she cannot walk away from that thinking that she didn't do good enough. She did absolutely amazing.
And there you have her
Look
screen
at
there. That's
that beautiful single fin.
Jillian Montgomery surfing that classic single fin setup there, and she definitely had a couple waves out there. She's probably going to be pretty stoked. We're still waiting for some scores to drop, but yeah, getting on that single fin, having some fun out there, and yeah, making it happen. I mean, I know the judges up here were you know, a couple of those waves that came through there, they were pretty stoked on. I heard a couple of hoots and hollers and cheers for some of the ladies out there, but we'll see what this heat has in store for us. Heat 8, round 1. We have in red, we have Kelly Brown. In white, we have Mouse Myers. And in Mouse Myers, sorry. And in yellow, we have Kate Lightstone. And in blue, Alina Abramovic?
Bramovic, I think. I
Abramovic?
believe it is, yeah. Abramovic.
Abramovic.
So just to give you a little bit of an update on Heat 7, I do believe that in 4th place, this is 100% official, we have in the blue was Liana, and we had in 3rd place, we had white, which was Amanda Levitt. This is all Heat 7. And officially 2nd place goes to Trinity, getting through, one of the younger ones of that heat. And in 1st place, it was Jillian Montgomery taking 1st place. So those 2 ladies will proceed on, and the other 2 will take a bit of a break, maybe hit up the amazing massage or chiropractor adjustment to get ready to get back out there.
Oh, man. From the Wick Spa.
Yeah, from the Wick Spa. And here we go. Ryder up in red doing a pretty nice little turn there. I'm hearing a little bit of ooh and ahs from the judges. They like what they see. What will they drop for that? We don't know, but so far we have.
What a beautiful day.
Oh,
I mean, the sun's coming out here, shining, waves rolling in all day. Smiles and beautiful people everywhere. I mean, I feel like everybody in Tofino's healthy and beautiful. It's a good spot to live, you know?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely great spot to live. We have in red, Ryder in red, Kelly Brown really taking a massive lead with a total wave score at 9.83 already. And sadly, the rest of the team haven't really passed much more than a
We got
3.
Surfer in white there. That's Mouse Mayers.
Mouse Mayers.
Looking at this nice looking right here, but
she gonna finish her
couldn't
way?
really get that much speed down the line there. We'll see what that score is, but yeah, that's what the judges are looking for. A bit of speed, power, and flow is really key to posting a really good score up here, and that's
Kate
Surfer in
Lightstone
yellow.
just did a massive drop. Unfortunately, it didn't really pay off for her, but look at this set out the back. Everyone is paddling for the horizon.
That outside bank is starting to work here, Alan. We'll see what.
We did call it, did we not? I believe.
I think we did
It's
call it.
like we knew what we were doing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
No biggie. We won't take the fame, but
we will take the credit.
Well, we'll take the credit. We'll take anything these days, you know?
That's right. That's right. He does not discriminate. Brandino does not discriminate.
No.
Absolutely not. Kelly Brown sitting pretty far out there, waiting for one of these waves to line up for her.
I think she's licking her lips right now, seeing that massive set roll through. I think she's chomping at the bit to really paddle into one of those things. And man,
I hope another one comes
If you could
through.
link one of those set waves through, we saw that beautiful looking left reel right through. I mean, that'll definitely help her score on. She's sitting in first right now, I believe.
She sure is. Yeah, she actually just upped her last wave score and is now at 12.17 for a combined total in red. White is, sitting kind of pretty. Mouse Myers with 2 waves under her belt. Not the best waves, She definitely has lots of room to try to take that top spot, but the rest of the 2 girls there are fighting to get into that next round. They want to make it. Kelly Brown's not going to make it easy, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, these are the qualifying rounds. Although the top 2 surfers that are advancing from this first round here will be going up against girls that placed, some of the top girls that placed really well last year in round 2. So we'll see. We got Surfer in blue up and right in on her back end. Nice little top turn on that section
Nice.
there. See what she's
Finish
got down
it.
the line here. If she can finish this wave.
So close.
I mean,
didn't really offer her much there.
Looked like she gave up on that one, but that first turn, that was a pretty good turn for Surfer in blue.
Alina
Abramovic.
Abramovic. Kind of rolls off the tongue, doesn't
It's
it?
tricky seeing
Abramovic.
these last names out here, you know?
It is. It is. I would say that is not my forte.
Apologies ahead of time if we're saying your name wrong. Family and friends that are out there watching.
Mao's paddling like she earns it, but doesn't get into it. A little bit reformy. So if you just tuned in and you're starting to be like, whoa, those waves are breaking really far out. Now they're breaking really close. What's happening? We're looking for those big waves, those set waves. And those are the ones that are just have a little bit more on offer on the outside. And you gotta read where to sit. You gotta know where to go.
And then again,
it's not easy.
Yeah, and that again, that takes time. You know, it's all about water time, especially when you're surfing and trying to learn a lineup. You have Surfer in red out the back there.
Kelly Brown trying to
Kelly
better her
Brown.
score. Will not do
Surfer
that
out of
there.
Yuki, Kelly Brown.
Yuki contingent.
Yuki contingent, pretty strong right now up here. Lots of Yuki folks showing up to show everyone what they got. But yeah, as we were saying before, it's all about water time. You know, the more time you spend on the water, the more you understand what's going on with you know, how a wave breaks, where it breaks, how sandbanks work, you know, how the tide affects the different banks and the swell, and also different swell directions as well. You know, stuff that comes from the west is different from southwest and south and northwest. So, you know, the more time you can spend on the water, you know, shortboard, longboard, whatever you can do, even body surfing.
Oh, super fun body surfing.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, like anything, you're just riding a wave. Getting to connect with that wave in different ways is awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely awesome. Feeling it like roll over your body, it's
bro,
it's a pretty cool experience.
It's pretty deep, bro.
Yeah, well, I do like to body surf when the waves are on point, but when you're talking about all those intricacies of how the swells work and what it's going to mean for you when you get to that beach, there isn't someone who knows it better than Pete DeVries. The guy literally studies this stuff every single day to make sure he gets the best waves. If you're out, oh, here we go.
Kelly Brown on a beautiful looking left here. See what she can do here. A nice little turn. Right back to that speed pocket there. She can finish this off. A bit of a float. Got a little caught there, but that first turn there, Alan, I'm really liking that her committed rail work there as she picked off one of the better waves of that set. We'll see what the judges want to do with that one, but it's definitely going to factor into her scoreline.
Yeah, she really threw everything she had into that first turn, and we just need a little bit more. I think in the end, not like she needs it for the points, but later on it won't be that easy.
Exactly.
For
Once
the
you
next
start going up
heats.
to the heavy hitters, you know, other contestants like the likes of Sarah Taylor, Matea Olin, Hannah Scott. It doesn't get easier.
No.
I mean,
each round only gets harder.
Of course, you're stoked to move on at round one. Everyone is always stoked to move on, but it gets harder and harder. And I mean that $2 grand we're not giving away for free.
No,
you got to earn it.
You got to earn it. You got to earn it.
You got to want it, baby. You got to want it.
Do you ever, man? Do you ever? And $2 grand, like, you know, $2 grand. These days, some people say is not a lot of money. Well, I will say you're wrong, sir. That is a good amount of money to have some fun. Good amount of money to have some fun.
Alan, if you won $2,000 right now, what would you do?
Right now, I would take all my friends out for a good old time. I think that's what I would do. I would do that, or be really selfish and just spend it all on me. Probably buying you.
If you had to pick one
thing,
$2,000.
$2,000.
And that's realistic, you know. And everyone says,
That
"What
is
would you want?
realistic.
What would you do if you won $100 million?" Well, you do a lot of things, but $2 grand.
I think if I got $2 grand right now, I would put it in my bank account, and I would save it, and I'd put it towards a down payment on a house so I can know for sure that I can live in Tofino for the rest of my life.
I know. I know a friend of mine, Marosha Daly. You may know him.
Yeah, I
the
do.
Spy
actually,
Rep.
yeah.
He's selling a house in Yuki for $500.
$500. He's selling a house for $500.
It's in the trailer park, but I mean, if the price is right,
the price is right. It sounds like I can buy 4. Sounds like I can buy 4 of them. I wouldn't mind. I could do some upgrades to it.
Hey man,
you know,
anything goes in Shelbyville.
That's right. I've actually never had the pleasure to visit. Of course, we're pro Yuki, pro Tofino. But this is not a pro. This is Queen of the Peak. It's a whole different game. All right. So women's only, 7th annual. It's all for the ladies.
It's all for the girls.
That's right.
All weekend long.
All weekend long.
Yeah, Mikey Jacobson and Chrissy Montgomery. We've probably heard us say that a million times today, but
we're gonna say it a million more.
That's why we're here, and that's why we're sitting here on this webcast talking about this event and commentating it. It's the amount of time it takes people, you know, they see it from the outside, like, oh, this is kind of cool. You know, they got a scaffolding set up, tents, everything. But, you know, there's sponsors you got to make happy. There's all the contestants you got to get in order, all the swag bags, all the events, you know, before and after the contest.
Endless. It's absolutely endless. Mike and Chrissy work tirelessly.
You know, live scoring, and, you know, it's a lot of work.
One event ends, and they just get ready for the next event.
You know, I hosted my own contest in the park, and let me tell you, it's a lot of work. And Alan, you've held your own contest too at Chesterman's last week, and
yeah, I can say I helped sponsor the event at Pacific Surf Co. They did help sponsor it for the soft top division of the competition. Good friends of mine, Jamie and Rob and Jordy, in this club called Cold Feet Club. They have a company, and they decided to put on an anti-contest to have some fun, and we brought the soft tops.
Super hip.
Super hip,
Yeah.
you know, super cool. It was a really cool event. Really awesome to see how many people came out, how much enjoyment people are happening. There was a costume and soft top that was absolute mayhem. It was like Waimea for Tofino. Perfect.
Yeah, I saw that in that wrap-up video that I believe it was Marcus put it together.
I do believe so. Yeah, you're right.
And yeah, the costumes that turned out to the beach was pretty. Unfortunately, I had to work that weekend. I couldn't make it down, but
as we do, you know, we don't get weekends are not our playtime.
I know.
Well, we are very lucky.
If you guys are watching, us Tofetian and Euclusian residents, we do work out here.
Yeah.
You know,
we have
do have a job. And some people may think that we don't, because you know, every day we're having fun. But you know how hard it's pretty hard not to have fun when you live in a place like this.
That's right. That's right. Well, when you have the ocean open to you, just so easily accessible. You know, you leave work, whether the ocean was part of your day job or not. You leave work, you can be surfing in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't care where you are and what mountain. I don't believe that you can be in town on a mountain going down a run in 5 minutes. Maybe if you're working on the hill and you get off work at the top.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes a little bit longer. So we are very lucky, and you know, this is the surf mecca between Ucluelet and Tofino. This is the place in Canada to surf.
Yeah, and this is pretty much, you know, this contest pretty much kicks off, you know, the swell season out here in the area here. We have Kelly Brown looking at us left. Unfortunately, got a little caught behind that peak there, but yeah, this is surf month out here in Tofino, and you know I always enjoy fall time. You know, the weather, you know, is like this, a little bit overcast. The winter storms haven't really settled in all that much. You know, we have beautiful waves. You know, it's not massive storm swell, but we still have some pretty sizable waves, and the conditions, I mean, the winds are pretty favorable. You know, the air temperature drops a bit. The ocean's still pretty warm, so you get this light, gentle offshore breeze. And it's, you know, it's one of the best times of the year, I think.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hands down. It's cool to see the seasons change. You know, we don't have a lot of trees that change color, but they do change a little bit. And it is a bit nipply in the mornings and in the evenings once the sun dips down. And here we go, Ryder up in white. Mouse pumping down the line, setting herself up for the finish. Straightens out.
Stoked on that little hand pump there.
Yes, ma'am.
Mouse with the claim. I think that's the first claim of the day that we've seen.
Yeah, we might see some more as the competition keeps going on. And as long as they stay appropriate, I'm all for them.
Yeah, I can't wait to see come the longboard division. Kate Prothero. She's always a joy to watch, and last year I know she had a couple of claims up her sleeve. We got Surfer in red there. Sorry, let's get back to live action. Kelly Brown.
In a good spot.
Look at this. She's picking these lefts off. Got a nice looking face. Nice little flow.
Oof.
Oh,
nice. She did.
Coming
maybe.
in.
We'll see.
Coming in pretty hot there, but she did stick that landing, but got a little caught on the flat section. But we'll see what the judges say. You know, we just sit here and talk. We're not judging.
That's right. We don't get the judges' seat. It's a little more comfortable over there, but it's definitely high pressure. We're pretty lucky. We just get to fly by the seat of our pants, I guess we could say. You know, thinking about this competition right now, we let's give you some scores. So we have Ryder in yellow in 4th place. That is Kate Lightstone. And we have in 3rd place, I got a beautiful rider and wearing the yellow jersey there with a total wave score of 6.9. And second place goes to blue with a total wave score of 11.27. And then Kelly Brown, rider in red, taken away at 13.77. So it is pretty close ways for the top two. Under a minute left here. Just one wave could really change the day, though, for the two others. So hopefully we will see maybe Mouse and Kate Lightstone pick up the intensity here and get some waves.
As the time winds down in the heats here, it's pretty awesome to see how these girls deal with the pressure. You know, having a heat this close, you know, a point, if not a point and a bit. Just differentiating between first and second place and third. And so we've got about 20 seconds remaining left in this heat. Still waiting for some scores to drop, official scores to drop, and seeing who's going to be moving on ahead. But not too much action up there. I think we saw the last flurry of the sets here, but it's not going to matter because that heat is going to come to an end. And that was the end of Heat 8.
That's the end of Heat 8. Here we go.
Is that the end of the day, Mikey?
Those horn blasts. That's the end of day one.
That is the end of day one.
So that horn there, yeah, end of Heat 8 or women's round 1 shortboards. That's going to close out the day today. So as you guys saw earlier, we had some pretty good longboarding. We ran through the round 1 of the women's longboard, and you know, they put on a bit of a clinic there. The round 1
Oh my
women's
goodness.
longboards were pretty fantastic to watch.
Oh, they were epic. Absolutely epic. Those longboarders really took it to the next level. The waves were looking pretty big, and they lucked out and got some great rides. You know, who do you think was the standouts there?
The standout for me was it Frederique, I believe. She was catching those lefts all morning, and she was looking pretty smooth. So I'm pretty excited to see what Frederique has in store for us in the later stages of the women's longboard.
Absolutely, and then she just took it right over to the shortboard. Really took the heat into the shortboard, got through on both of the different board size. So tomorrow, those ladies better be ready because she's coming for them.
Yeah, so we'll so that ends the day there, the women's shortboard, and we'll probably be starting off the day tomorrow with the women's shortboard as well. And yeah, I mean the conditions for the next couple of days will be kind of similar to today. I think the swell is supposed to be dropping off a little bit, but the weather forecast is hopefully going to hold out, no rain. And yeah, I want to thank you guys all for watching. If you guys can spread the word, tell your friends and family that weren't watching today. Make sure you tune in live to the Queen of the Peak. So queenofthepeak.com. That's queenofthepeak.com. You'll be able to watch this contest live all weekend long. Myself, Brendan Muhlenberg, and Alan Pearson, and of course Mikey Jacobson will be your hosts for the whole weekend. So
the whole weekend.
I want to thank you guys all for coming out and tuning in today, and we get ready for tomorrow.
Absolutely. See you tomorrow.
8 a.m. sharp.